there's a delay. There we go. We are on. We're on. Let's see if the mics are working. Oh, mic. We only have one mic. Does not sound good. Hello, welcome to Verbal Ejaculation. This is fucked up. We sound like dollars. Testing, testing. Mic test, test, test. Really? Because I'm not here. I don't hear anything at all. Test, test, test. That was good. Hold on. Test, 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 test. This is fucked up. This is what it is. It shows on. Just see if it's the mic or the wire.
Is it the mic or is it the wire?
Testing, testing.
The wire out there. The mic or the wire?
Oh, that's okay.
Now, or is it still just a one? We've been talking the whole time. And we apologize to the viewing public out there.
Testing, testing, testing.
Who unplugged this?
I did.
We're testing the mic.
Because one of them...
Not working. I was testing it.
You're testing what? Oh.
Because one of them not working. I was testing it.
It's fun to mess with the planet. Keep unplugging each mic while he's trying to figure
Testing,
out
testing, testing.
All right, we know this one's working. Is the silver one working?
Testing, testing, testing.
All right, we know this one's working.
Okay. All right.
Mic's working. Is the silver one working? Try it. Plug
I can plug it back in.
Try that one.
Why are you making it so difficult?
Let's try that one.
You keep unplugging
What? And we should be back on.
Well, we wanted to test this.
All right.
Okay.
We have 6 total viewers already. What the hell?
What's going on with the
Matt in the
mic?
chat room is out there, and we are without Matt in the live studio. And we're having some problems with the microphone.
Yes, and instead of letting the engineer do his work, they're unplugging it back and forth.
Oh, we're having fun.
The engineer should have done his work beforehand.
The engineer tried to, and it's broken, all right? And I
See?
still think it's,
That's
I
it.
still think it's the wire.
Fire the engineer.
Give me some money, we'll buy some new wiring.
That's it.
All right. Oh, come on. Echo, echo, echo. So welcome, everybody, to Verbal Ejaculation. We got Scott Perry from the Siren Agency with us again tonight. Matt in the chat room says hello, one and all. And to those of you watching, if you're not out there in the chat room, go ahead and log in. It's free to... I'm just looking at the social stream. I never look at the social stream because I can hear myself talking.
Yes, it's because Scott's got his computer turned.
Yeah.
on. That's why. He doesn't know how to put mute on during the...
We don't know what the hell's going on tonight. We're down to 1 microphone.
The social stream says, go Amanda, whoever Amanda is.
Yes, go Amanda. Oh, that was Amanda McCarthy. She was a guest on Roulette at Large Gone Global on Friday night at 8 o'clock here at QCEnews.com and IPMNation.com. Welcome to Verbal Ejaculation. It's July 1st. Fucking June is over. That's all I have to say.
Oh, and happy Canada Day.
And we finally get Glenn on camera.
It's
Which one is not working?
This one is not working. The silver one is not working.
The silver-haired devil, just like you, Glenn. That one. That one.
John Slattery, he is not.
Oh. And we want to apologize for that glaring white, blaring light that you're getting on the screen right now on your computer screen. That is Glenn's legs, by the way.
Oh, you guys are horrible.
That reflective scene you're
How
seeing
about
right
him?
now.
He's got white legs. You all have white legs.
Yes. Well,
Mine are nice and tan.
yes. So you're right on the camera right now.
So we're testing out the mics. We're having a bit of a issue, and hopefully Matt, our
when Matt comes in, he doesn't trip on that cord.
No, I'll fix it in a minute. Let me test it.
Oh, don't be all testy. Relax.
Well, that's exactly what I saw when he lifted up his leg. Oh, it was a testy. Sorry if you guys are hearing an
It's
echo.
the mic test episode.
It's working.
It is. All right.
Where's the wire?
Oh, yeah, there it is.
I gotta find another wire.
All right. You gotta find another wire?
I know, it also sounds like there's feedback coming in through one of them. So, anyhow, so 3 of us will be sharing this one because clearly the mic cord is not long enough.
Maybe when Matt gets here, he can just hold the mic.
Yeah.
He can just like
Right in his lap.
Right in his lap. He can put it in his crotch.
Matt would like to know why I'm looking at testy, and it's because Glenn's shorts are.
I just shorted his.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Right, relax. It's Canada Day.
It is. It's Canada Day. It's 3 days before the birth of our nation.
Oh,
Happy birthday, America!
And Glenn is going to sing okay. What about Fat Canada? What?
I said, happy.
Somewhere I have Terrence and Phillip from South Park singing that.
You don't speak French, obviously.
Yeah.
I only speak the one language of this country, and that's English. That's the real language. The Queen's English.
That's because that's
All
America.
right. That's
Well,
America.
we're in America.
Yes, I know that, but you were talking about celebrating Canada, and they have bilingual.
Yes.
They're much smarter than
I'm
the
celebrating
Americans.
it by
Wow.
drinking Canada Dry.
Well, why don't you go to Canada then, Glenn? Why don't you go and live there?
Didn't even
You don't
realize
want to.
that.
You don't want to live here in this fine country.
I didn't
even realize that.
We're sitting here by the American flag, Mister.
It's the red, white, red and white. I am maple leaf.
My blood is red, and I have white, and something about my balls being blue. I don't know. I don't know.
Get
There's
that
something-
nice on it.
That's what it is. I don't know. My veins are blue. There's something is blue, right? Our veins are blue. I don't know what the saying is.
I don't know.
That's good. Thank you, Glenn.
Not all of Canada is bilingual yet, but they're all bisexual, so. Nice to me, yeah. I turned the straight boys.
I really could care less about Canada.
Yes.
Sorry. That's
Well, this is an interesting start to our
They got
show.
great bacon. I love the Canadian
Great
bacon.
bacon.
it's good, but that's
I
not
love
like
Canadian bacon. I love Alan Thicke. Alan Thicke is a good.
Alan Thicke is
Michael J. Fox.
There's very few-
Another good Canadian.
there's very few Canadians that'll actually like. I was talking to one today, actually. I was talking to a Canadian.
You're talking to a Canadian.
I was talking to a Canadian today.
They exist. Wow.
Yeah.
Lovely Canadians exist.
She's a lovely lady.
Who else is good Canadian? Rush is okay.
Rush is okay.
I like some Rush.
Celine.
No.
No.
No, get out of town. Nobody likes Celine Dion.
I am the greatest singer in the world.
But,
My husband is 40 years
who else
older
from
than I.
Canada?
Raped me as a child.
There's some other good Canadian things. There's some other things. Kids in the Hall.
Kids in the Hall.
Kids in the Hall. Good Canadian import.
Well, that's also because Lauren Michaels is Canadian.
Lance Brissette.
I do love
Is she
Alanis.
from Canada? Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, is he from Canada?
He is from Canada.
Yeah.
3 Days Grace, a rock band. All day. Canada.
Cindy Lauper, she's not from Canada.
She is too.
She's from New York City, isn't she?
There now, she's from Canada.
If only we had a way to verify that.
Google it.
I always thought she was
Googling
a
it now.
native New Yorker. I didn't think she was from Canada. Was she born in Canada or was she born in Queens, New York?
I believe I just saw Queens, New York.
Okay, because I think she was born and raised in
Cindy Lauper
Queens,
was
New
born
York.
June 22nd, 1953 in Queens, New York.
All right, thank you.
For you, I'm so sorry.
You're hitting Celine Dion.
No, Celine Dion is somebody else.
Oh,
Yes, she is somebody else. Wow. So Cindy Lauper goes to Canada and plays concerts.
we're gonna do like reverb out there or something. Hold on, I'm taking the mic out.
Was anybody's computer still on audio-wise? Like anybody's speaking?
Testing.
Totally me.
No. The mic's too close together.
Maybe that's what it is. Sorry, everybody, if you're not hearing a great sound quality that we usually have.
I think this is the worst like technical difficulty I've ever experienced here in verbal ejaculation. I think this is the worst like technical difficulty I've ever experienced.
this one.
here in verbal
Is it that? It's that
Yeah.
silver mic? Maybe it's the cord. But don't tell Glenn.
Your mics are perfect in the headset, okay?
They sound perfect in the headset.
It's not translating onto Ustream very well.
Round and go right ahead.
We will. Go home.
Go home.
It's fine. Get out of town.
It's all right. We'll work with one mic.
We're fine. Our voices echo. We don't need like
It's
two
true.
mics.
It's true. We've got loud, booming voices because we're big guys.
We're big men.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're big American men.
Men.
Big above the pants
men.
and big in the pants.
Not sitting here going on about how great Canada is, trying to take our New York women and make them Canadians.
I know. How dare he? And Queens of all places.
Wow.
Sounds fine with one mic, Matt in the chat room says. All right.
Good.
Well, here we are again. We'll start from scratch. Welcome to Verbal Ejaculation. I am Chris Rose. To my right is Dan Ranlett. To his right is Scott Perry of the Siren Agency.
To your left will be Matt Connerton. To
the left will be Matt Connerton. He'll be joining us soon, hopefully. He is stuck in traffic coming in from Concord on 93 at the tolls.
It's because of all those damn Canadians.
It is. They're trying to escape their country. If you want to get in touch with us, we got the Magic Jack on tonight, 978-702-9952. That's 978-702-9952. You can join us in the chat room. The chat room is open. We already have Jackson Dupree, Matt in the chat room, Paxton88, and two guests.
He's at the door.
Oh, Matt is at the door.
I just want to say, speaking of Canadians,
Yes.
I just want to give a shout out to my good Canadian friend, Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca, if you're watching. Thank you very much for joining us.
Also, I have a few other friends down to remain nameless.
Okay.
Because of content issues. But hello. Glad to see you.
There's no content issues when you broadcast on IPMNation.com because there's no censor. But for legalities, I'm assuming.
Yeah, there are a couple people I meet off the internet that I don't really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You and your secret life, your porn life.
Hello.
Oh, and our engineer is leaving for the night.
I was
Trying to
also
sneak
surfing
out.
a lot of porn earlier today.
You surf a lot of porn all the time.
I do.
You do.
I do. I was
I've only surfed porn twice today.
What?
He's
We
gonna be-
fired Glenn. He's out.
Our engineer's going double duty today. He got us set up and everything, and he's going home so that he can broadcast some Canadian festivities.
Yeah.
Because it's Canadian Day.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is he
Mr.
coming back?
Closeted
We
Canadian.
pissed him off because one of the mics not working.
I hope not.
So he's gone. He's gone.
We're sharing off the one mic, so you kind of have to speak up tonight.
That mic.
That mic.
Although Matt could probably figure out.
There's still
the mic
48
in 2
wires,
seconds, but that's all right. You know.
And of course, Matt in the chat room will let us know if there's any problems with the microphone. He says one mic has been fine. Yeah, come on, squeeze in, sit on my lap.
I just want to say hi to you too.
Yes.
Matt,
Well, we can like again. We boom. We can push.
Should
it
be.
over.
Should be. Right. I
Matthew.
can project.
Matthew.
We all project.
Yes, that would be him.
So I apologize for being late.
Well,
No apologies necessary.
no excuses.
I was.
See how this relationship works?
You know what was funny is that
I forgive. He
I was
doesn't.
on 93 headed south, and I had all the it's a nice night out. I had all the windows down, wind in my hair, stereo turned up really loud, and I'm literally, honest to God, I'm thinking the exact thought goes through my head. Wow, this is one of life's great joys. You know, the simple pleasures. You know, on a hot summer night with the windows down and the stereo turned up, driving along. And, because I think it sounds hokey, but I think it's important to reflect on the little things in life, right?
Exactly.
So that exact thought goes through my head. Wow, this is perfect. And then immediately, that thought finishes. And then the very next thought to go through my head is, fuck. Because then I see all the traffic backed up ahead of me, and I was like,
Now, when you were doing that, were you playing that song with Sammy Hagar singing "Hot Summer Nights"? The radio's on.
I
You're playing
wish-
that.
I
Were you
wish
doing
I
that
had-
stereotype? Where
I
you,
wish I had thought of that. I will do that on the way
All
home.
right, you should. You
Because
should.
on the way home, there should be no traffic.
A little Van Hagar on the way.
He did have the wind going through his hair.
I did, yeah, you can tell.
Yeah.
I had the wind in my hair.
Or
Oh,
that
yeah.
out of bed.
I do it right.
Yeah.
All the windows down, all four of them.
All the
No. See, Matt doesn't fall asleep until he's on the air.
So I put all 4 windows
Yeah,
down. I
sure.
have the sunroof open. I crank up the 80s summertime.
Oh, so you're
Rock.
You're fortunate.
That's what I do.
Okay, so what did I miss? What exactly happened?
Glenn's fired. He's out of here. He doesn't know how to play the
The
microphone.
silver microphone is having some issues.
And I pulled my pants down.
Oh, okay.
And Glenn was going on about how Canada is the greatest country in the world and how Cyndi Lauper's from Canada. Just,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, no.
I thought she was from Detroit.
Well, she's from Queens, but you know.
I thought she was from LA.
I don't know why I thought Detroit. Oh, Madonna's from Detroit.
Madonna's from
But so he's fired. He's done. We're no longer having him part of the show. He's gone. That's it. Till next week.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
Until we need him again next week. Yeah, apparently the Amsterdam guys didn't think that we were doing a show because Dan and I
last
went to
night's
see a
concert,
concert
and-
last night. Apparently we're still at that concert
I
tonight.
guess Collective Soul's playing continuously.
I don't think
so-
they check their Facebook all day.
What? Wait a minute. Oh, no, I'm confused. There was a Facebook posting that said we were on tonight
Yes.
from them.
But I think they looked at last night's post.
I had to text Gorman and let him know.
Oh, okay.
Because they were looking at the update from last night when we were at Collective Soul last night, and they probably thought it was tonight because they weren't looking at the
I don't even
dates
know
at
if
the time.
there's a couple of guests in the chat room. I don't know if one of them is Peter or Ryan. So if they are watching, thanks guys for tuning in.
You know what? Does Facebook have an issue with trying to put, like, because I recorded one of the songs last night when we were at the show, and it actually came out really well, and I'm trying to upload it on Facebook, but Facebook keeps on rejecting that upload. I wonder if it's because they're considering that copyrighted, but it's like, I
That's
don't even
interesting.
know. Because I see other people.
Is
that do
there a
that.
size limitation?
I don't know if that's what it is, because it's just a video from my phone of one of the songs last night, and it
Oh.
was like, and it's not even like a great video.
Can we
I mean,
upload it to IPM Nation?
But it was like, it was just weird.
It's of Collective Soul playing.
Yeah, that's going to be a risky situation.
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
because you can't do
I
that
can't.
either.
They
Then if
won't
he
do that.
if he can't, then
Yeah, so I'm wondering because other people do it though. Other people
Yeah.
have done it, and it's like, and it was just weird because I tried to do it from my phone, and it keeps coming up with like this rejected thing saying Facebook will not allow you to upload your video, and I'm like, I wonder why it won't allow me to do it because other people that were there at that show last night did it.
Matt says there is
So-
a size limit as well.
So maybe
that
it's
may be it.
maybe it's just the size limit of what the because
Because you can
You know.
embed almost any copyright material
oh
onto
yeah,
Facebook.
it's like
I
and
found,
people
like-
took fan photos last night and all the fan photos.
Yep.
You in fact you put a photo up
I
on
did.
Facebook from last night's show.
I got a couple more that I got to upload too.
So I just
But I didn't take any video, just of you
No.
dancing.
yes, well that was
Oh, and
after the show.
I followed you into the men's room.
Yes, well.
You bastard.
And did you
Scott, I'm sorry.
now
What happens in Hampton Beach? Well, it's not going to stay in Hampton Beach because I
did you
gotta
go
post-
home? Did you go home and Google the Buckner's non-alcoholic
Buckler, yes.
Bucklers?
A division of Heineken,
Oh.
apparently.
Oh,
Buckler, the warm piss of non-alcoholic
greatest-
beers.
he got this non-alcoholic beer last night that if you, like the bottle looked like something Building 19 would have.
As their beer.
Like as their beer, like you know when you have that. If anybody's gone to Building 19, you know how they have the free coffee section. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, but they have a section where you walk in. Building 19 is the place that's kind of like
Where dreams go to die.
where garbage is, or they'll have like it's like yeah, basically
It's garbage stuff cheap, right?
It's like good stuff cheap. It's like dumpier than a Big Lots, dumpier than a it's pretty much like the stuff that's like damaged goods, stuff that's outdated, stuff that's kind of like
Garbage
falling
goods, so
off
you
a
find down there.
truck, stuff like that. Like if like a like if a store had like if a Macy's had a flood and all their stuff got damaged, and the good stuff goes to like Marshalls. You know how they do that, and they sell like the stuff, but the stuff that actually got flood damaged, that ends up getting somewhere liquidated, and Building 19 picks it up.
Like an oops.
Like you can't, like an oops, but like you can't, but you, like nobody, like you buy a shirt at Building 19, there may be a big stain on it that you can't remove.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in one of those places that maybe if you go to work and you do this all day, like you
Right.
you can work like this all day. If
you're
you have
feeling patriotic
if you have
now,
a job,
I'm
if you have a
ready
job,
for the-
Are you having a heart attack? Is that?
if you have it, or if you're one of those people that are like a one-armed man and the shirt has like an arm missing, like it's one of those. And I've bought things at Building 19 before, but they're
We
claim
had
to
one in
fame.
Burlington. So.
They claim to fame is you go in there, you get free coffee. They have like a big section where they have free coffee, and their thing is their other thing was if you could find anything cheaper, like the same item cheaper than what Building 19 had, they'd give you a bottle of champagne, and it was like this cheap bottle of like Welch's outdated grape juice or whatever that was champagne. His beer he had last night, his non-alcoholic beverage looked like
It was like the
something.
label was peeling off
It was
already.
this white
Yeah.
label. Like when he ordered it at the bar, the bartender looked at him like, "Are you kidding me?" It was almost like they made an announcement at the casino ballroom. We have one of them, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody's finally ordered a Buckner's or whatever it was, and it was like,
Yeah, we said it was created by Bill Buckner.
yeah, Bill Buckner.
He's still.
It when he poured it, like they poured it in the cup, it smelled like a skunk got hit by a truck, and like it rained. And now it's like the rainwater that poured into it. You could smell it like a mile away. It was like
there it is.
But it didn't even look like that label. Like the label they had was a lot whiter than that. That's like
Beer Advocate's score is 64. That's poor. Apparently, that's a bad score to get.
It was putrid. It was like the putrid smelling. And I took a little taste of it, and it did. It tasted like
he vomited.
It tasted like you were at an AA meeting, and they just showered, like a whole bunch of alcoholics, like showered, and it was the bath water
It's what was pouring off
of the alcoholics. That's what it tasted like.
The sweat. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and it was.
Wow.
So I can understand. That's the best drink to give anybody that has a drinking problem. Like that's the thing, just to get them off the stuff. But yeah, so it was well worth your $5.50 or whatever it was you paid for that non-alcoholic beer. It's
tons of corn. Tons like smelling a jar of unpopped popcorn.
I didn't get that.
Self-defined lager yeast cleanliness and just a touch of spiced hops.
I didn't get any of that. I don't know who's reviewing that, but I think you.
No, it was skunked. It was like a skunked Bud Light. No, it was even worse than Bud Light. It was like a Natty Light. It was a skunked beer.
It was like Silver Anniversary. It was like one of those really cheap beers.
Amsterdam says, "Wow, Peter White." Well, thank you for joining us, Peter White.
So, I'm, not to change the subject, but I just want clarification.
No,
what exactly did Glenn go home to do?
I guess it's Canadian Day.
It's Canadian Day, Canada
for
Day.
the country of Canada.
Yeah.
Canada.
And I guess there's some live events that he has to go home and broadcast, or take his little camcorder and film it so that he can do it for later broadcasts, like he does with his
TV,
like his intro to We Let It Large Gone.
They're doing Nick at Night's doing a Thick of Night marathon or something.
Thick at Night? Is it Thick at Night already?
He's going to be doing like
Holy
recording of the
shit.
Thick at Night marathon, and he's going to be broadcasting.
Robin Thicke. There's another.
That's Robin Thicke is Alan Thicke's son.
I know.
So it's
Is he?
Yes.
You never knew that? Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
There is some talent in that family.
Yes. But he basically he's doing whatever he does with broadcasting live entertainment.
I was going to say he can't be broadcasting it live tonight
because he can't go to Canada anyway. He was telling us that.
We're on.
Yeah.
But
that's why I'm thinking he's got the camcorder like he did with Independence Day.
So he's going to turn around and he's going to broadcast Canadian Day festivities like 2 or 3 days, like probably on 4th of July. They'll probably have a 4th of July celebration celebrating Canada. So
Michael Seaver, Amsterdam says in the chat room. Was he Michael?
Michael,
No, that was,
Michael was
Kirk
Kirk Cameron's character, right?
Yeah. Dr. Jason Seaver. Ha! I beat you to it, Amsterdam.
Ha
Ha ha! Ha ha!
For some reason,
Yes, apparently Cindy Lauper is from Canada.
Yeah, Canada. He was very adamant.
We still have 2 guests in the chat room as well that haven't logged in. If you haven't logged into our chat room before, it's free to sign up on Ustream. Just create yourself a username and password, and you can join in the conversation. Right now, Matt in the chat room in Amsterdam are pretty much having a conversation out there.
So Glenn is coming back, right?
And Jackson Dupree has logged out. No, we are actually responsible for closing down the building tonight.
I've logged out.
Really?
According to my computer, I didn't log out. Did I lose internet again?
Who's going to yell at us that we're not putting things where they go?
Oh, I know. How are we going to know what to put in the closet? It's going to be tough.
Scott never stay out of the closet.
Oh, no.
Came out.
Yeah.
That means we have free reign of Glenn's office? Uh-oh.
Oh,
Ah.
I don't know what's in there.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
How many young Latino boys are locked
Other
up
than
in
Doug's equipment, I don't think there's anything much of value in there. And I saw Doug coming out of, he parked right up front, I think, as he was unloading the equipment from this weekend, and he was in high spirit coming out of the Shaskeen.
Oh, he's drunk?
A little bit.
Doug was? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Irish.
Yeah. He was out with Connor, his son.
Was he drunk, Connor?
I didn't see him.
You know, a family that drinks together.
Stinks together. Like Buckler beer.
Wasn't that their saying? That was probably their...
I will always promote my premium malt beverage.
You're gonna have to go
Duels.
find Buckler beer somewhere and like in a
Doesn't sound popular.
it's you could probably order it online.
No, I don't go that far.
But I mean it was almost as tasty as the BO in the general admission area of the show last night because they didn't open the windows and it was probably about 100 degrees, 150 degrees in the casino
Where was this
ballroom.
show?
The casino ballroom.
We were at the casino ballroom last night, the
Collective
Hampton
Soul?
Beach
Yeah,
Casino
Collective Soul.
Ballroom.
That must have been sold out, right?
Yes.
It did. It sold
Yeah.
out.
There was a huge line to get in, so I made Dan go for a walk.
And we walked around the boardwalk a few times because, I mean, you know, the attitude is you don't have to be up front for that show. We were in the back, kind of hanging out, and it was like, and it was a great show. It was one of their better shows they did, and the thing that got me being a fan, they did the entire Dosage album, and a lot of people didn't, and there was no opening act.
Oh, there
And
wasn't.
It was just 2 hours of Collective Soul. They did two
An
sets.
evening with Collective
That's
Soul.
what it's
Evening
called.
with
That's what
Collective
it's called.
Soul.
An evening with Collective Soul, and they promoted it as an evening with Collective Soul, the Dosage tour. And they told, and every fan knew that this tour was the entire Dosage album minus one song because one of the members of the band's been gone for 10 years and he did that one song. So that it was the complete album except for that one song, and then their hits for the second set.
Mhm.
And they even come out at the beginning of the show and announced to everybody, hi, we're Collective Soul. Tonight we're going to come out, do the entire Dosage album. We're going to take a little break, then we're going to do our hits. We'll see you in a minute. And they do that at the start of the show just to tell all the idiots out there, this is what we're doing.
Right.
There was still people in the audience
Of course.
that came in late. Hey, that opening act looks a lot like Collective Soul. Like there was these two Goombas that came in next to us, and the guy's like, hey, I think that might be Collective Soul on stage. Is that a Collective Soul cover band? What is going on here? What song is that? Like people, and then people were getting pissed because they were like, play something we know, play a song we know, play one of your hit songs.
Listen to a fucking album.
And it's like, okay, no, and that's the problem some bands have, I guess. Though, if you decide to go out and tour based on an album, you're going to have those fair weather fans that go there expecting to hear just a whole string of hits.
Right.
And you get, you know, a fan like myself, I'm sitting there going, hey, they've never played that song live. This is cool. Hey, this is great. Hearing and it was great to kind of hear, and they played it in the sequence of the album with, you know, they kind of mixed it up a little bit, but it was like, but you heard people in the back like kind of screaming like, well, play something we know, play a different song, or like, you know, hey, this is kind of stupid. Like there were people making comments during the show.
I believe we heard somebody yell out Freebird.
It's like, shut
Really
the fuck
random.
up. And it was kind of neat too because they have a tendency when they do their tours, they'll play some cover songs. So they did "Private Eyes" by Hall & Oates because they have that song "Hollywood," which was influenced by the '80s pop songs.
Mm-hmm.
And during that song, they start doing "Private Eyes," and then they did a medley of Cars tunes.
Really?
So they were doing like a whole bunch of Cars songs in tribute to the
Your
Cars.
friend Rebecca has logged into the chat room.
Yes.
So that was kind of
Okay.
neat.
Sorry, not to interrupt. Well, actually, I do want to interrupt Dan.
Of course you did.
Matt in the chat room says, I am sad Scott is not in the chat room to have a side conversation like last week. That
He's
was
here live to have
the
your
ambiguously gay duo out in the chat room. I really want Peter White to call in if he has time, because I still haven't gotten really a full story as to what happened on Amsterdam last week.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Because that douchebag Grover called in, started making threats. They went to a video, and I think shortly after the video came back, they were doing last week's episode. They were doing the previous week's episode.
Well, don't forget though about Todd Bouchard.
And Todd Bouchard, yes.
I do love the Todd Bouchard character.
So Peter, if you got a second to give us a call us on the Magic Jack hotline, 978-702-9952, 978-702-9952. I'm just curious because he seems so red-faced with that douchebag.
Yeah.
I don't blame him either. The kid was making threats. He was threatening, like, I'm going to beat you guys up. That's it. I'm going to meet you at the TV23 studio, and I'm going to beat up you and that other kid you got there.
This was Dave Grover.
Yep.
Yes.
Now, you've had Dave Grover on Norm's show before, right? That was very controversial.
Yeah, he actually came on an episode of Norm Unfiltered, and it got so colorful, shall we say, because they bonded. Norm and David Grover actually bonded.
Because he's very racist, right? Isn't he
Yeah.
like
See, now,
very outspoken?
somebody that I know made an accusation that Dave and Norm bonded so well that they actually hooked up.
What? No, I really don't think
Just
that happened.
somebody who you always have to take with a grain of salt.
Okay.
Okay.
Norm claimed it?
Norm claimed it. It was Al Caprillion.
Oh, hey. so-
Holy shit, this thing works.
Wow. Is that the Magic Jack?
Verbal ejaculation, you're on the air.
Yes, this is Peter White from Amsterdam.
Wow.
Well, hello, Peter White from Amsterdam. This is Chris Rose from Verbal Ejaculation.
Hello, Peter.
Hello, Chris.
By the way, that joke,
And Dan.
that bit never gets old when you do. Mrs. X, this is Peter White from the Amsterdam. So what happened on Wednesday night's show? Give us a rundown.
What do you mean? I thought that was a great show.
I thought it was fantastic, but part of it seemed like familiar or deja vu, as if we had seen it the week prior.
Well, you know what? The kid called in, Dave Grover. Did he get under my skin? I'll be honest with you guys. He did that night. Gorman and I listened to the show today on IPMNation.com, and fantastic. I thought it was a great show. I thought he handled it well, even though I don't like him, but I did get a little red in the face, although I am a little tan also.
You're very tan.
I'm not that tan, Chris.
You're tan all over, from what Lindsay was telling me.
Oh my!
Lindsay and I have our own side conversations.
That's Joel. Joel's all over.
I've seen Joel with his shirt off. I don't need to see it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Merry
Even
Christmas.
Even when he takes his shirt off, he has a sweater on.
Yep, he's got the polar bear vest.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I want to knit a pair of socks.
So,
With that hair.
I'm not that hairy, but so anyway, go ahead.
so Grover, from what I heard, what was going on during that show, I heard that he had called back to apologize.
I guess he did. I don't know. I wasn't sure. Ryan had a family emergency that day.
Oh, goodness.
And normally, I talked to Ryan prior to doing a Amsterdam episode, and for some reason that day, I did not. I had no idea Todd was coming in. It was kind of weird. So I was definitely on the fly. Me and Joel, I kept saying I didn't know what was going on with Gorman at the time of the broadcast.
Mike, I actually have a question about Todd, your buddy Todd there. I don't know if it's a trade secret or not, or if you want to give it away. Is it an act or not?
No, Todd is a real person. I think, like I said, I didn't talk to Ryan that day, so I had no idea what was going on in the show. I show up at 11 p.m., and like I said, I usually talk to him, and I know what's going on. I had no idea what was going on that night.
So kind of flying blind on that episode.
Definitely. That's why the show ended early. We only did 40 minutes compared to our usual 60 minutes.
60 minutes of Amsterdam, and that's Wednesdays at 11 p.m. Eastern on TV23 for Manchester and parts of Hooksett, and IPMNation.com, and ManchesterTV.org. I'm doing all your advertising for you. You still there?
Yeah, I am still here.
Okay.
Sounds like Todd has quite
yeah.
the collection of cassette tapes.
Yes, and Walkmans.
Yes.
Todd is a funny dude. I met him a long time ago. I thought the world should be introduced to him.
Yes.
And there it is. What can I say? It's beyond me.
It's sort of like the film Dinner for Schmucks. I think if he was your guest, you'd probably win.
I almost ate that egg. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
I almost
Yeah.
ate the egg.
Well, you had the egg in your hand, and then he swiped it back from you.
Well, he was at the Shaskeen earlier, about 2 hours earlier, so I knew those eggs had been around.
Was he doing stand-up?
He was trying to.
Oh, okay. Good answer. Good response.
Yeah. Well, hey guys, listen. We're going to be back on the 11th on Wednesday night, and we're not doing a show next week, Peter White show. So I just wanted to say Happy Independence Day to all you guys.
Thank you very much. Same to you.
Thank you.
Are we getting a best of Amsterdam on Wednesday?
You're actually getting an alternative version of Amsterdam on Wednesday. I think if it's done, it's going to be different camera angles. Because lately, well, I'll just let you guys wait and see.
Yeah, it's not going to be as much of a disaster as that time that Manetti was hosting and had that kid come in and Jolar was
That was a really
ready to
short
throw him
show.
out a window.
Yes.
That was funny. I was watching that from home.
Yeah.
And the best part was our producer Vic saying, "Yeah, that's enough. You guys are a-holes."
Yeah.
and close it early.
Yeah,
Very early.
I appreciated the fact that you played the extended version on the Peter White Show. Because
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's good.
No,
It's all good.
It is good.
I'll tell you what, Dave Grover makes for good radio and television. I mean, did it get under my skin? Yes. But you know what? Like, at the end of the day, it's good TV, it's good television. Bring it on, Dave.
All right, it's a challenge. All right, well, thank you very much, Peter. We hope you enjoy your 4th.
What are you guys trying to get off the phone with me?
Pretty much.
Making it obvious?
Well, I know where you live, and it'll only take you about 10 minutes to get over here. If you want to
I know,
join.
I'm just joking. Hey, have a good weekend, you guys. I'll see you guys on. Like I said, we'll be back on the 11th.
Awesome.
All right. Good night.
Good night,
right.
Peter.
Thanks, Peter.
And that was Peter White of The Peter White Show.
Lovely and
Follows
talented.
just before us at 8 p.m. Eastern on IPMNation.com. The Peter White Show. A lot of fun. Yes, and you used to live with somebody who really got under my skin when he called in all the time.
Who? What are you talking about?
I believe he wanted
Oh.
Peter to fuck him in the
Yes.
ass.
Oh, what are you talking
Well,
about?
that's right. Yes, he used to say it over and over that he
Yes,
wanted
he
Peter
did.
White.
Yes,
to fuck his ass.
yes. And Peter, if you're still out there, we need that clip.
That soundbite.
Oh,
we need
yes.
the sound bite.
Soundbite. But the we should get him to call in.
Yes, we should.
Having DJ Paul calling in and giving an update of what's going on with his life, that would be exciting for everybody.
You don't hear from him at all.
I don't know. Having him call in. How about having him and Dave Grover have their own show? How about
Ooh,
that?
yes.
How about
Wow.
that? That would be
The first 3 minutes would be them stabbing each other.
just anger. just anger, like 5 minutes of anger.
or smoking a shitload of pot.
Yeah, I haven't heard or seen the Amsterdam episode that you're talking about with the Dave Grover yet. I have to tune in and listen to it.
Oh, yes.
Because I did listen to the Norm Unfiltered episode that was so controversial it had to be specially downloaded on IPM Nation.
Yes, we put
because
an 18 plus.
Yes.
The one time we've ever done that.
Was this?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Was it Norm and Friends on TV 23, or was it?
No. This was
this
Norm
was-
Unfiltered.
Oh, okay.
This was the show
And
that
it
doesn't
got-
exist anymore.
It got nasty.
Really?
No.
I have not. I don't believe I've heard this one.
It's very
Oh.
controversial.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's easy to spot on the Norm Unfiltered page
Got
because
it.
it's the only one that says.
Was it after the one
Yeah.
where before or after Norm
There's a-
wanted to throw me out the window?
Oh, this was way before.
Oh, okay.
This was
Yeah.
the early days of
Yes.
the controversial show that
I'll have to
Norm
check it
Miller
out.
Yeah,
does.
BT before Trish,
Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, this was
before
this
she was the co-host.
This was before.
Well, that was a different show. That was
Yeah.
Speak Your Mind
Yeah,
with Norm and
yes.
Trish.
This was
God, was that awful?
this was when Norm had his
Oh, so bad.
Norm basically was very much unfiltered, and Dave kind of let a lot of things out of Norm.
Norm started it.
You know,
Norm dropped the N word first,
Yes,
and then
yeah.
and then got Dave going. And oh,
And I still think that it should not have been. I don't think it should have. I think it should have aired. I don't think it should have been one of those 18. I think it just
well, Norm
was
didn't
the one
want to
that-
post it,
Yeah, I know, but
and then I said, well, let's post it, but let's put some sort of disclaimer on it because we just sat here for an hour.
because Norm
and a half
didn't want to
and recorded
alienate
it.
his fan base, right? He
Right.
didn't want to and it's just. But when you listen to the show, you blatantly see it's Norm that starts the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute, you're being a hypocrite, Norm, because Norm starts the whole thing, and Dave just kind of goes along with it and starts the whole ball rolling, and you're kind of like, all right, you can't start the fire and then like run away and say, oh, I didn't do it, no, and go grab the marshmallows, you know what I mean? Like that's but it's a good. That almost sounds like one of those Dr. Phil-isms.
That was a
Yeah.
fascinating.
Start the fire and then laugh about it,
And then go get marshmallows.
Marshmallows, you know. You don't put your eggs in one basket and then count the hatch before the hatch. You know, that's you ever watch Dr. Phil? He always had those
Is
stupid.
he still on?
Does he still have his show, or he went to something different? I don't think it's the Dr. Phil show, isn't it? Like something.
I don't know.
Because I know his son does stuff now too. Like Dr.
really?
Phil's son does like
I
marriage
believe he
counseling
takes
or
showers
something.
with little boys.
Does he? No, that's the Uncle Sandusky show, isn't that what
Dr.
that is?
Phil, he's still got. Yeah, it looks like he's still on.
Wow.
I heard a rumor that Dr. Phil's son and Norm and David Grover had a three-way.
Ooh.
I don't know
Well,
if
was
that's
that from a reliable source? Was it from somebody that?
No, unfortunately, no.
No,
So
it wasn't
it may
from a
not be
reliable
true, but that's what I heard.
The show is in syndication throughout the U.S. and a number of other countries. Its 10th season premiered September 12, 2011. The show is to be renewed through 2014.
Oh, we can't get rid of him.
Nope.
Didn't it turn out he wasn't really a doctor? Wasn't there some
Yeah, he's not.
controversy
I
that
don't believe-
he doesn't
don't
have
believe he
like
is.
any like he doesn't have any type of
Allegedly.
like allegedly.
Yeah.
Well, see, Norm told me he wasn't really a doctor, and he told me that he found that out while they were in that three-way. So that's that's all I know. But that was just another one of those. Oprah has discovered so much talent out in the world because Oprah is.
It was him. Isn't Dr. Oz one?
Dr.
of those as
Oz
well?
was an Oprah, yeah, and well, Oprah had that other
Gail, her girlfriend.
Gail. Didn't she discover Rachel Ray too? Wasn't that an Oprah discovery?
Maybe.
I'm not Googling that. We'll just say yes. On
Yes.
that. Sure. Rachel Ray and Guy
Yeah,
Fieri.
yeah. Guy Fieri. So
Yeah.
big news happened with the we were talking last week. You guys in the chat room were making comments about Tom Cruise and what happened. What happened because of the controversial
The
Tom
NWCK
Cruise.
duo talking about Tom Cruise in the chat room.
Katie Holmes files for divorce because you guys were making all those comments in the chat room. I think verbal ejaculation was the root of why Katie Holmes filed for divorce.
There you go. So let's talk about Will and Jada. Those two, because I'm pretty sure he's gay too.
You think that's next?
I think that's
You think
next.
that's the next
Or is
one?
it John Travolta and Kelly Preston?
Well, no, she's forgave him now. That was the latest thing
Not
I
according
saw.
to the Inquirer that I saw on the newsstand.
Because I saw something recently with all the hand job, all the masseuses, the male masseuses that have come out now. There was some report I saw that they're patching things up.
And Beck in the chat room says, "Thank God Tom Cruise is getting divorced." Yes, the gays can have him back finally.
But I just saw something that came over on the Xfinity news thing. Katie Holmes is looking for sole custody of the
yes,
child.
I read that.
Yeah, that's
So-
interesting.
Well, doesn't that usually kind of give you that whole like batshit crazy or he's a gay type of like classification when the wife is
Yep.
is trying to
And the ex-wife there, the tall forehead, Nicole Kidman, he hasn't had much luck with women. Clearly.
oh, and his former wife before her there too. He divorced her because he liked Nicole Kidman's ass. That was why he. What was her name? She's an actress too. She was.
Penelope Cruz?
Mimi
no,
Rogers.
Penelope Cruz. Mimi Rogers.
Oh, Mimi
Yeah.
Rogers.
Yeah, Mimi Rogers. He was married to her. He saw a movie with Nicole Kidman in it, and they were going to do the Days of Thunder movie.
Yeah.
He saw some movie that Nicole Kidman shows her ass in it and says that's the greatest ass I've ever seen in my life. It looks like a 12-year-old boy. So he says that on record, and he basically said, he goes, her ass looks like a 12-year-old boy. That's the greatest ass I've ever seen. I need to have her in this movie. So he has an affair with her and leaves his first wife, hooks up with Nicole Kidman, marries Nicole Kidman. While he was with Nicole Kidman, he has an affair with Penelope Cruz.
Oh, right, okay.
Yes, and then him and because he has to keep that straight image.
Yes.
So he has the affair with Penelope Cruz, leaves Nicole Kidman for Penelope Cruz, and then out of nowhere, he's in love with
Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes because people.
I love this woman.
People
I'm jumping on the
started
couch.
People
I love
started
her.
saying, oh, we have proof that him and David Geffen, wasn't that the rumor that him and David Geffen were secretly married? Wasn't that always the urban legend? And
I heard that.
That was always a long-term like going.
I
rumor.
hadn't heard that
That was like one of those Hollywood urban legends that had been like stirring up for the longest time that he was married.
It does make
to-
sense because Kevin Spacey, when he was in Swimming with Sharks, he basically based his character on David Geffen.
Yeah.
When he was the mean evil producer, and Kevin Spacey is admittedly gay, I believe.
Has he come out admittedly?
Kevin Spacey?
I never thought Kevin Spacey ever came out and said
I don't know if
he was
it's
gay.
official, but
Because
I've
you've
heard
mentioned that
things.
before. You've
I
mentioned
thought
that
he was
before.
married. Isn't he
that-
married? Kevin Spacey?
Well, so was it Tom Cruise.
I've never even. I'm just surprised because
was Liberace? I don't know.
I'm just surprised because I've never even heard a rumor about Kevin Spacey being gay.
The first time I ever heard it was Chris. Chris
Oh,
had
really?
mentioned it on here that he was gay.
Yes.
Really?
I had
Yeah.
heard from a friend who, because Kevin Spacey spends a lot of time at the in London at the Old Vic because he's one of the chairmen there.
But I think
He's
he
been
actually
known to
officially came
visit
out.
some of the parks where it's
Yeah.
popular for gay
So you've
men.
been in the Turkish bathhouses too?
I'll be damned.
Uh,
Huh. I Had no idea.
I saw Kevin Spacey in like one movie.
Career.
What was that movie where he was like thought like he can go to a different planet?
Oh,
Oh, was that K-Pac?
K-Pac.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
K-Pacs or K-Pac? Yeah.
K-Pacs.
Yeah.
You know what? In his Wikipedia, it doesn't say anything about a spouse. Not even like an ex-wife.
Oh, no kidding. I don't know why, but
Because I just heard I heard it as a rumor from my friend Joe, who lives over in London, that one of his friends cruised Kevin Spacey.
Huh.
But I don't see anything that he's a staunch Democrat, friend with Bill Clinton.
I don't know why I thought he had been married. I must be thinking it was someone else.
He spends a lot of time with the old Vic. But yeah, there's not anything about it getting married. Oh. So that one we might actually be able to say, without allegedly, we could actually say Kevin Spacey.
You've claimed another one
yes.
with your gay militant
Maybe it
agenda.
is.
See, Matt in the chat room says Travolta is admittedly bi,
But
I
I've
don't
never
think
heard Travolta ever coming out
admit-
saying he was a
Yeah.
bi.
No, I don't know.
And Becca says not only was Tom Cruise's marriage bad, but so was his acting.
See, I disagree. See, I actually like Tom Cruise.
I liked a lot of
There's
Tom
a lot of
Cruise.
Tom Cruise movies that I like,
Yeah.
and I like his acting. I like he's not as bad as like Keanu Reeves is. He's not as bad as some other actors out there. Like he's not as bad as Nicolas Cage. Like he's not as like there's some really bad actors out there, But I.
You know what I don't like? I don't like Mark Wahlberg.
Really?
I don't like Mark Wahlberg.
I don't like Mark Wahlberg.
Who doesn't like Mark Wahlberg?
I mean,
How dare you?
Are you a Canadian?
I'm looking for
Are you a
success.
fucking Canadian? Do we have a Canadian in our midst?
Yeah.
Go join Glenn.
I'm,
You don't like
Go
Mark
back up to
Wahlberg.
Canada, you socialist.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I just don't like him. I just don't like him.
What do you have against Mark Wahlberg?
The only movie I've seen that I actually liked him in was The Fighter.
That's an excellent movie.
I was almost
Yeah,
positive
Guys
he was
is
gonna say
good with
Boogie
him
Nights.
and Will Ferrell.
Because you
That's a
see
hilarious
Mark
movie.
Wahlberg's penis at the end.
Ah.
I
What,
thought
Boogie
you-
Nights?
I
He's
thought
good
you were going
with
to say
that, yeah.
Boogie Nights.
I was looking for it.
But it's not really his
Becca
penis
does
that
not
was
like
a
Mark
phallus.
Wahlberg either, and she is Canadian.
Well, there you go. That proves
Well,
it right there.
at least you can admit it. This one over here will not admit it.
Closeted Canadian.
I can't stand Adam Sandler.
I would
And
agree
he's
with you
another
on
New
that.
England
I would
boy.
agree. I would agree with you on that. Adam Sandler, I think, is overrated.
And I think that's why Tom Cruise is okay with this divorce, because he went to see Jack and Jill.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Well, my big thing when they made the announcement, I said, yes, she went and saw Rock of Ages.
Yeah, they both saw that film.
That was what happened, and she was like,
Yeah.
I was listening to when you guys were talking about that last week, and I don't know if you read what I put in the chat room, but I just absolutely think that movie's gay.
You think Rock of Ages is
Yeah,
great?
absolutely.
Well,
It's a Broadway musical.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
I've seen
This
music.
is gayest Mamma Mia and Hairspray.
Well, I've seen like West Side Story, and
Yeah.
I've seen.
No, wait a minute. West Side Story is more gay than Rock of Ages.
Yeah, when you fight like this.
Come on. I'm a Jen, and you're, whatever.
We're gonna hustle.
I mean, at least in Rock of Ages, they're being like glammy hair metal. Like, they're going like, we're going to fight. I'm going to kill you with my snaps. I mean, come on.
That's like killing and talking about fighting.
Like,
Rock of Ages.
fight, they're like, ooh, we're gonna rumble. We're gonna rumble. We're gonna get those people. I mean, come on. That's
Rock of
I'm a
Ages.
jet. I'm a shark.
They just dress up.
When you're a jet, you're the Jets. I mean, come on. It's like,
And Natalie Wood playing a Latino. Come on. Come
I
on.
don't know.
They're all-
Rock of Ages are just like. Just in really tight clothing, and they're like.
that was the 80s.
I didn't really like it.
And it's
That's
just
the
like
80s hair metal scene,
I just
though.
didn't like it.
For men or women in
They
tight
dress
clothing.
more
Unless it's
hardcore
Glenn.
than Rock of Ages. I'm sorry.
Glenn was provocatively dressed.
Becca says Rock of Ages looks like the dumbest thing to ever come out. I'd rather watch. Oh no, you don't. Cats, fucking Cats. It's the worst fucking show on the face of the earth.
And I'm a
Sorry,
cat
sorry.
lover. I'm a cat
I
lover.
love
and I don't want to go see cats.
No.
I really like
That's
so
Andrew Lloyd Webber should have been shot after that, but then he came out with better things. But still,
Family
fucking
opera.
Cats.
Family opera's good.
Yes,
Does that still, like, is Cats still big? Like, does...
it closed down late '90s.
Oh, okay.
I think they finally stopped.
I
showing
still
it
think of
Broadway.
the Family Guy though, where he drives in on cats and like runs over one
I
of
was
the cats.
just picturing that in my head. I was just picturing
What's
that
that?
one
You've
in my
seen the Family Guy where Peter runs over the cats.
Yeah. I was aroused by that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's how much I hate the
So.
show Cats.
Cats. I mean, again, I love cats, but I would not go and sit through cats. I don't know. To me, that's got to be the gayest thing ever. If they're wearing skin tight, furry cat outfits.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I mean, rock and they're wearing spandex. What did the hair metal bands of the '80s wear? They wore spandex and had poofy hair.
Spandex and leather.
And leather and tight jeans and ripped jeans. They're dressing like the decade. Maybe it's because you're younger and you don't understand it. Maybe that.
Don't get me wrong. My mom bred me on '80s music.
Okay.
My mom listened to Poison, Twisted Sister.
Okay.
Quiet Riot, all that kind of stuff. But it's like that era's over. It's over. It's time to move on.
We'll never die.
This was sort of a throwback to that
It's
era.
just it's being retro. It's allowing people.
Do you also object to the History Channel because they show things on there that are over?
Yeah, wait a minute.
Or VH1 Classic.
Do you go up to Vietnam vets and spit in their face and say the fucking war is over, you fucking pussy?
Get over it.
Get over it. The war's over.
I don't care if you have posters.
Why are you wearing green?
That's a little different.
Yeah, fucking loser.
I did want to bring up something that he just said, though, the music that we grew up on, because one of the things, Dan and I were talking about this last night, something that really pissed me off recently is Oldies 103.3
Oh, you were
in
upset last
Boston,
night.
yeah, is now another fucking alternative contemporary channel. So they've taken away.
What is
Oldies
alternative
103.3.
contemporary? What is that?
94.1 hits now.
Well, you're talking about it's hip hop, right?
104.5 XLO.
It's all the R&B and hip
Kiss 108.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can name off several.
It's all the Rihannas and the
Right,
Gagas.
yeah.
It's all that stuff. Yeah, it's all the,
But
it's the
Elvis,
LAs.
the Beatles, the Supremes, things that Oldies 103
Like the real
plays,
music.
the stuff that I grew up
The
listening
real music.
to.
Yeah,
The real
it's,
music.
It's now it's the homogenized.
They sold out.
cookie cutter.
They're sellouts.
Well, it's a business. They got to.
You know what did it? Fucking Glee. That's
Glee.
what did it. Your show. That's what did it. It's the gay agenda. It's your people.
Yes.
That's what did it.
Excuse me.
Your
The gay
people
agenda,
killed.
we would be playing more Elton on Oldies 103.
Your people did it. That's why there's that 103 channel. That's what did it.
Yeah, like we need another fucking hits now.
Well, it's because
Hits
of,
now.
it's because of the Disney generation. It's because of people that are complaining about 80s music over here. It's because of those people.
yeah.
It's because of the people that are downloading
Matt
Miley
agrees with it,
Cyrus.
too. It's
That's
the
what's
stuff
happening.
that we listened to growing up.
It's the Justin Bieber people. That's what it is. It's those people. It's because kids today don't have taste in music, and it's the parents that are raising the kids today because they're listening to that shit. That's what it is. Nobody's listening to the Nuge anymore. That's what they need to do. They need to go out and buy the Nuge's new album.
People need to stop
All
listening
right.
to the news.
Did you know the Nuge had a single? I didn't even realize this because I've been researching the Nuge lately. He had a single like 2 years ago that was called something like "We Are the NRA." Did you know that?
God, really?
There was like that was like it
Really?
didn't go anywhere. But why aren't the kids buying that single? Why aren't they cranking that up on the radio, huh? Why isn't people playing that, blasting that? We are the NRA. How come you don't see a little, Latino boy or African American boy with a boombox, and them ghetto blasters on his,
Yeah, we are the NRA.
walking down the street with
Oh,
that,
come on now. Scott doesn't want to hear about that era. That's over.
wearing those tight jeans, walking up and down on the road with "We Are the NRA." Scott doesn't want to bring back music. He doesn't want to bring back. He doesn't want to bring back
Scott is a
Nuge.
killer of music.
I'm all about move along,
Well, no, you're into hardcore. You're into metal. You're into that. I mean, but
And sometimes
I
jazz.
understand that. Yeah.
Sometimes jazz.
Sometimes
Slow
jazz.
jazz.
We listened to a bit of the Siren Agency's podcast. Scott was graced us with a preview of it. Sounds very good.
And I do have the file. I just haven't had a chance to.
So thesirenagency.com. You have a podcast that you've recorded, which should be available soon on IPMNation.com.
Yeah, I just got to build the page and compress it.
Yeah.
So another new show on IPMNation.com.
Indeed.
Looking forward to it, B.
We'll have 60 by the end of the year. 60 by Christmas. That's our
60 by Christmas.
that's
Our first
an
episode.
ambitious goal.
Our first episode includes me and my partner Taylor, and we're basically just introducing you to the Siren Agency and further events and other promotions going on. So, just keep us posted on Facebook, which is facebook.com, the Siren Agency.
It is great to have that background playing.
And X
while he's-
texted me last week or the week before. I don't know if he's listening. My ex down in Providence, that he is every time I call, this is my ringtone. This is what he's picked for me. Is tonight I celebrate my love.
Is
Good.
this Ashford and Simpson?
I'm about to plug my podcast show.
Sorry.
He's talking about romance.
Tonight we celebrate
Tonight
the
on-
Siren Agency.
Tonight on VEADD channel.
Anyway, if you follow us on Facebook, we'll keep you posted on when it's going to come out, and for any further episodes that happen throughout each week, we'll keep you guys posted. So check it out. The Siren Agency podcast show coming to you soon on IPM Nation.
IPMNation.com. The next generation in entertainment. Sorry, we don't have to plug QCE News. He's not here.
No, we don't have to talk about it. You know, I don't have somebody, yelling from the
Hey, does
room.
it mean the bathroom is locked? If
No,
Glenn's not
he
here?
left it open.
No.
Oh, good, because
Yeah.
I just drank this.
Uh-oh. Whoa,
yeah.
Hey, it is a
Well,
hot
no, you
summer
just key
night.
right back into it.
Yeah.
I could,
Recycling.
and then I'll drink my urine.
Now,
There
Chris,
you go.
you wouldn't have the issue you're having with the radio if you listen to more internet radio, or maybe listen to like Sirius radio, or more like satellite radio, because then
Yeah.
you could pick.
Of course, I'm watching a repeat
whatever
of the Cleveland
station.
show tonight, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Let's listen to what this dead media has to
Yes.
offer."
Because I haven't listened to regular radio in I don't know how many years now. I think it's been like probably about 7 years now that I've listened to regular radio. So it's been a long time. Because
We do have a lot of wonderful programming here at IPMNation.com,
Indeed.
including podcasts of almost every show that has been on IPMNation.com.
That's right.
Although we couldn't find Highly Illogical.
Highly Illogical, can't find it anymore on there.
Can't
Somewhere
find it on
I've got
IPM
it.
Nation.
That one episode of Highly Illogical.
Oh, it's not in the show directory?
It's no longer in the show directory.
I'll have to fix that. I apologize.
Because it's, I was talking about that one episode that took like so long.
We do have the
to-
proud honor of being the number 4 show on IPM.
Number 4 show!
Number 4 out of top 10.
We're big in Beijing. We are huge in Beijing.
That's
Bangkok,
because the people are so small.
because last weekend when I was doing the airsoft, people were asking about IPM Nation and talking about verbal ejaculation. I think we were maybe at number 3 or something at that point. I said, they were like, well, why aren't you number 1? I said, we're number 1 in Beijing. That's all that matters, all right?
That's all that
We're-
matters.
we're number 1 in Beijing. We're number 4 here in America. So we're trying to get that. We've already tackled number 1 here. Now we're trying to get the international. We're going global. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're going
Verbal
global.
ejaculation gone global at large.
But that's what we're trying to do, because we're trying to beat Glenn's numbers overseas. We're going to get Somalia next.
Somalia,
where else?
Nigeria.
Nigeria. We're going to get Canada. We're going to go out for Canada
I think
next.
Amsterdam is number 1 right now, right?
I believe you are correct about that.
Well, we got to take those fucking bastards down.
Ah,
That's what we gotta do.
those rat bastard.
Although we're on their channel,
Amsterdam.
because we're one of those people that are on dual channels.
Yes.
We're a show good enough. We're on multiple channels. That's how
And
we
just
are.
to point out, Amsterdam, the channel, is number 1 of the top 5. The other one that we're affiliated with, we don't have to say it because he's not here,
No, well,
is not even in the top 5.
Well, what would you expect it to be? Because come on, Amsterdam's a better channel.
We're also part of the live channel as well, and that's number 2.
Wow, look at that.
But yep, Amsterdam number 1, Shadows of the Night Radio number 2, Planet Local Outbreak is
Of
number
course,
3.
Local Outbreak is number 3.
We Let It Large Gone Global is number 5 though, so congrats to Glenn for that.
But is that number because of Glenn, or is it because of you two? Really?
Well,
Are you
we weren't
gonna in the numbers?
I didn't want to
I
say
mean,
it.
come on.
Yeah, we weren't
Come
going
on.
to say anything.
Are
But, you
people
know.
really watching it for Glenn? Besides Glenn's sister, who's really watching that show? I mean, come on.
Well, you might have another
Glenn's-
relative somewhere.
Glenn's not bringing in the numbers. Glenn
It's the
isn't.
Somalians.
I mean, who's bringing in the talent?
Really,
Come on.
they're watching to see if David Grover happens
Is
to
that,
call in.
well, maybe you
That's-
could get
that's
David
why.
Grover next week for that show. Maybe you could have a
Ooh.
surprise guest.
That would be something.
Maybe,
That would be something.
Maybe that would be controversial. Maybe Glenn would get maybe he'd storm off his own show. Maybe Glenn
Or maybe he'll fall in love.
he would fall in love with Dave Grover and have this you'd have a great show with him and Glenn. That would be a lovely, sexy show.
I'll be in tuned.
Yeah, it would be creative.
Yeah.
Wasn't there something about Glenn needed $100 by tomorrow for the?
Today or tomorrow, yes, for the LLC licensing, so that he can keep the LLC portion of Queen City Examiner LLC.
He needs to raise $100 to get LLC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we should mention that. Yeah, if anybody has $100 kicking around, Glenn needs it.
Maybe that's what he was doing tonight. Maybe that's why he's being very cryptic. Maybe he's out walking the streets raising some money. Maybe that's what he's doing, because he seemed very cryptic. Like, he wouldn't answer us. When I asked him what he was doing tonight, he wouldn't answer. So he told you he was filming Canadian stuff.
And his clothing was very skimpy.
You missed the vest last week.
Oh,
This is not a vest. It's just the sleeves are short. The sleeves aren't there.
Yeah.
That's what makes it a vest.
Yeah.
Chris saw a testicle, like when he went to go fix the.
You were sitting in your chair and he was fixing the mic and he was don't get this. And I was like,
A little free
really?
ball,
Wow.
a little commando style tonight, maybe.
although maybe did our guests see anything?
Oh, they see a little camera action. But maybe
I
we'll
just
put
excited
Glenn-
Matt in the chat room. So
Maybe Glenn is out raising money. He's fundraising tonight.
He seemed annoyed when he left.
it was the microphone.
Really?
Yeah.
We're giving ours.
He's like, it's fine in here. I can hear you guys are speaking perfectly clear. And then we put up the microphone on, or the speaker on Ustream, and it sounded like choppy and
Oh, really?
yeah, like we all had one of these.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, every time he was trying to listen, we were unplugging the mics too, because we were
Right.
like,
Right.
will you stop unplugging the mics?
I love
Wow.
fucking with him. I love it. This is why I'm his co-host on Friday nights.
He's just an easy target.
Do we really contribute anything other than just being sarcastic assholes to him?
That's a big contribution.
Well,
It
you
is.
brought it like
We
you
keep
brought
him
it
grounded,
musical guest,
yes.
right?
We
You,
keep
you
him-
occasionally do that, don't you? You bring up
Yes.
some people. Whoa, hey!
As I said,
Hey!
pleasantly surprised with Amanda McCarthy because knowing Glenn's track record with getting us singers and musicians
Yes.
hasn't been the best.
She has the number. She's now has the number 2 track on the IPMNation.com top 10 tracks, Sticks and Stones.
Now, was she
Moving up to
somebody's?
number 2.
Is she somebody's girlfriend with some band? Somebody like associate? I know that name from somebody. Is she Howard's granddaughter? We were talking about it last night. How is she connected?
No. I interviewed her on Local Outbreak.
Maybe that's
You
where
might
the
have heard her
connection
from there. And she has Sticks and Stones. It's an anti-bullying song. It's won some awards.
That could be it. That's what you're.
You know, she's done a lot.
Yeah, it was a great song too.
Mm-hmm.
Has he ever gotten the girl from The Walk yet? Has he gotten her that he was trying to book there? The
The
what's her name?
90-year-old
You
woman.
got the 92-year-old.
You got the old lady.
Organist,
You
yes.
didn't get the young girl that was the girl that's on iTunes.
I forgot about her.
I did
Because
too.
he was all excited about getting her on the show.
I can understand why I'd forget about her, but you
Yeah.
guys,
Right.
she was an odd piece of ass.
She was like this. I even forgot her name now, but she
Yeah,
was
I
like she
can't
was
remember
promoting
her
her
name
single on iTunes.
Yeah.
Hell, even Amsterdam got Miss Manchester or Miss New Hampshire for their show.
Did she actually show up, or she
No,
just
it
did
was
that
just
little promo?
Yeah, it's just on the promo.
So
Air Supply.
Yes.
Okay.
now this is real music right here.
Yes,
That's what
yes.
that
That's the real music.
My mother's tortured me with this stuff.
I still like. I like the fact that New York is one of the top 10 cities.
Yep. Absolutely.
New York. So if you guys are anybody out there in New York, thanks for tuning into our little half-assed dog and pony show. We have fun.
I think those are all fake cities.
I think.
No, that's a real city.
I think Matt just makes up those
Yeah.
cities. I think he just puts them in there and says, you know what?
Just
Yeah,
like pretty much
Pompano
every
Beach,
show that
Florida
Matt
for a while.
Connerton is
Pompano
on
Beach.
is in the top 10.
That's all.
Pompano Beach.
Is that how you say it? Pompano Beach?
Pompano Beach. Saturday she had a show there. Actually, at a place called Solid Sound Studios.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well.
Down there was 2 months ago.
Oh, okay. Well, we have a lot of listeners in that market for whatever reason.
Oh, all areas.
That's the.
Very familiar with that area.
Did anybody hear about this Taco Bell Alaska thing?
No.
Taco Bell. Okay, I guess there was these two. This small Bethel, Alaska. Bethel, Alaska. Has no like. They have no food. I guess they only have like a Subway, or something. There's 6,200 people, and there's no food. The closest fast food is like a Subway sandwich shop in Anchorage.
Eat
and,
fresh.
and it's like supposedly there was like these two guys or something that were having a fight. So there was this flyer going around saying Taco Bell was opening up a chain in this location, and the ad was saying it's a big event, and if you want to apply to work for Taco Bell, call this number. And the number was this guy's like home number.
Yeah.
So people were calling this guy's home number. So it pissed off a lot of people because they were all like, thinking there's going to be a Taco Bell because they're in this rural area in Alaska where there's no fucking food, and they have to fly. Like they have to fly to get food. Like they don't like it's and they have to fly to get like to Anchorage. Like so, Taco Bell is giving 10,000 like tacos to this town because of this hoax. Yeah, because of this, they just I read this on the news. They have like this because of this whole like taco, and this is a great promotional campaign for Taco Bell.
Yeah.
If you think about it, because they really, what do they have to do with this? It's just some jerk off that just decided to say, hey, you know,
he picked Taco Bell out of his ass. Could have said Burger King,
could have been any franchise. But yeah, flyers went up in June announcing the opening, including a phone number to call to inquire about a job at the new restaurant. The number belonged to this targeted person, and basically Bethel has the largest transient population, with people moving from the lower 48 to work in the hub city. The city has no bars and will soon have its first movie theater. But yeah, there are a dozen or so restaurants. Most have a similar menu. A couple of restaurants offer some Mexican food, but the price is prohibitive. $15 for a burrito.
Oh, wow.
So when people saw Taco Bell, I get dollar tacos, they went crazy.
Yeah.
So Taco Bell is shipping in 10,000 tacos for the 4th of July holiday. They're going to be sending in like all these tacos. And Taco Bell says they do this. They send tacos over to Afghanistan and Iraq all the time for the soldiers and stuff. So they're going to send in tacos now to this small town in
good
Alaska.
for them.
So it's another reason why I give Taco Bell my money when I go to fast food chains. You know,
Love Taco Bell.
You know, even though their food is
I think I've
probably
eaten there once in 3 years.
You know,
That's
love
because
that
I
food.
didn't have a car.
I-
Otherwise, I'd be going through that drive-through.
It's addicting. It's highly addicting.
Yeah.
My friend Rebecca actually just told me that now she wants Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Because
Now I want Taco Bell.
now I want Taco
Time
Bell.
are they open till?
Can we claim a
1
hoax
o'clock.
here and have them like 1 or 2 in some
It's like
areas?
1 o'clock on
Yeah.
Sundays, I believe.
Yeah.
And
Oh, in Manchester? Taco
yeah, one
Bell?
on South Willow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's later than that, isn't it? I think now aren't they open till like 4 a.m. now?
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
4 a.m.
I think so.
4 a.m.
That's just crazy talk.
That's ridiculous.
Here's the sad
Yeah.
part. I had homemade tacos tonight. now
I
just
said
want
That might just be Friday and Saturday, the 4 a.m. thing, but it's
Yeah,
at least
right.
but it's at least 2 a.m. the rest of the week.
Becca says 1 a.m. on Sundays.
Oh, 1 a.m. on
That's a
Sunday.
franchise thing.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was 1 a.m.
Yeah, I think Sundays they close at 1
let's go to
a.m.
the Red Arrow.
I like Wendy's. I think for fast food, the food is decent quality, and a lot of times too, they'll go out of their way to make you feel like you're bothering them when you.
That is true.
I had that at Burger King today.
Oh, really?
In fact, I had the girl clearly on the microphone at the drive-thru.
Yeah, yeah.
Driving
Well,
around.
the Wendy's on Candia Road. I don't know if she's trying to be funny, but there's a woman in the Wendy's in Candia Road. She acts like she's special needs. She's not special needs, but when you go up to the drive-thru, hey, can I help you today? Is how she talks.
Oh, really?
But then when you get up to the window, oh, here's your order. She acts like she's trying to be funny, I think. And it's very offensive. Like it's very like I get offended by her every time because she does. She acts like she's very like loud and obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
And like when you order from her, she gives you an attitude of what you're ordering. Like if you order something and say, "Yeah, I want like the chicken Caesar wrap." Well, that's going to take me 5 minutes to make. I don't know if I want. Like she makes like she's trying to be funny, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like. Just do your job, bitch.
Right. Yeah.
You're like, you know, just make me my goddamn chicken. And then
Make
you're
your
wondering,
$5.75 an hour.
is she spitting in my chicken Caesar wrap?
Probably.
You know what I mean? Because she's getting annoyed. So you're thinking, is this girl? She's being obnoxious. She's being annoying. Is she spitting in our food because she doesn't want to make this food and she's trying to be funny? Why is she still working there? Like, why is she? And she's got like a manager tag too, which is
really?
which is even what is more bothersome. And every time I've even gone through that drive-through, she's always outside smoking with a bunch of friends. So she's always bothered when somebody drives around. She's always got that. Oh, somebody's coming through the drive-through.
yeah.
I would be like,
Outside.
don't make me smack a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am not afraid to smack a
Becca
bitch.
says people at Wendy's are assholes to me. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Wendy's is ripoff. Actually, their new select sides that they have, I got the macaroni and cheese, and it was like,
they have macaroni and cheese at Wendy's.
yeah, it's like a selective sides or some crap like that. For like $2.70 something, you get like something that fits in the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
Wow.
That small. It took like maybe 3 scoops. That's all I got out of it.
I didn't even realize they had other things.
Yeah, it's new. It's been out for like maybe 3 months.
Well, I don't frequent. I don't really go to the fast food as much, but it's like I didn't know they had. I didn't know I can get mac and cheese at a Wendy's now. Wow.
You can now.
I knew they went to like the apples. I knew they were trying to be healthy, and they did like everybody else. They were doing the apple size.
I saw that in Subway.
Weren't they doing sweet potato fries too, or somebody was doing? Oh, that's Burger King, because Burger King does Southern now. Because I'd gotten sweet potato fries at Burger King.
Rebecca says they always fuck up her Baconators. So,
Those assholes.
especially the Baconator. That's a great sandwich.
You can't go wrong with bacon ever.
But I do like if you're talking about a quality burger, Wendy's does have the better burger.
Definitely, yeah.
Although Dairy Queen, I think hands down has a better burger.
I've been hearing about the Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen has a
My friend
burger.
Chrissy swears by Dairy Queen.
They had this new one, the Applewood like barbecue burger or something, or Applewood bacon
Applewood.
burger.
How late is our Dairy Queen open?
that burger, it rivals going to a restaurant and getting a hamburger at a good restaurant. It really does. For like a $2 cheeseburger or whatever it is, that is a good burger. Like it is like it is fresh taste.
Applewood smoked bacon.
Applewood smoked bacon
Applewood's really great bacon.
with like
yeah.
with that fresh onion, and it's like, and I don't know, but Dairy Queen, like you would never think Dairy Queen,
Right.
Yeah.
because their food didn't used to be that good. Like,
It was
they were-
just, it was for the longest time, it was just the ice cream.
Right.
yeah, and they had like the frozen burgers, they had the hot dogs for the longest time,
Yeah.
but their food and their BLT is the greatest fast food BLT ever.
Huh.
There's 9 strips of bacon in their BLT.
All right.
It's
God, see, now I have
it's
to go to Dairy Queen.
It's
Try
like
this out.
if you go to the right Dairy Queen, it's like 9 strips of bacon, and it's like a panini pressed like grilled, like it's like a, whatever they call it, the waffle grill like sandwich.
We're making
Yeah.
all of our watchers hungry right now.
it is like if you like a BLT sandwich at a fast
I
food
love
place,
BLT.
their BLT is a good sandwich. It's just and you know, not that I have a relative that is a, you know,
I was gonna say you have a connection to somebody,
but he doesn't know. His Dairy Queen does not have food though. All they have is they just have that's a small Dairy Queen. They don't have like the full food menu. They just do the BLT.
It was like the one that
and
they had
do
up in
the,
Hampton Beach a long time ago. It was just a
That old-
standalone Dairy Queen
They
that
just had
only had the ice
and-
cream. Yeah.
But now, and the insider scoop I found out is all Dairy Queens now have to have Orange Julius's. with
Matt in the
them
chat room
too.
says he's hungry now.
So that was the other thing.
And apparently, hit the Wendy's near him makes him wait 30 minutes for a sandwich. That's
Wendy's is
ridiculous.
usually
For
fast. Well, the thing I was surprised, we went to the fancy restaurant last night. We went out to eat before we went to Collective Soul. We went to the fanciest place we could have went to.
It was
at
Scottish
Hampton Beach.
cuisine. Scottish
It
cuisine.
was really fancy. I thought it was a Russian restaurant because everybody that was there was
yes,
Russian.
everybody behind the
But
counter
it
was
really
Russian.
good. But it was that fancy McDonald's at Hampton
Yes,
Beach, right?
yes.
And the observation I made, which I was very surprised by, but then it's no surprise because it's Hampton Beach. There was no dollar menu at the Hampton Beach McDonald's.
Really?
Everything is full price.
Yep.
And even like I had gotten the Southern chicken sandwich. I paid $7 for the Southern chicken sandwich, which is usually like a $2
I
sandwich.
paid $7 for 2 burgers and a small.
Like
fry.
everything is like
Wow.
$7. Like their prices are so high because it's the Hampton
Right.
Beach McDonald's.
Yeah.
So either I don't know if that's a McDonald's decision or is that a Boardwalk decision that everybody has to be kind of the same pricing or something.
I'm sure
Are
they
they trying
probably
to
find a
be-
cheaper burger.
Because do you think that somebody would have but if they would have kept their dollar menu, do you think somebody would have bitched because that place would have been booming? Because all I really wanted was a McChicken because I love I don't know what it is about those crack cocaine McChickens, but I mean they're the
I
worst
think you
sandwiches.
just said what it was. It's the crack cocaine.
I love that McChicken sandwich, and I'm not a like that dollar McChicken. I love, and I really just wanted a McChicken, and people in front of us in line actually went up to one of the girls and said, I want a McChicken. She's like, we have no McChickens, and it was like. I even looked up. I'm like, I even said to you, there's no dollar menu here. There's no. And it was. They had even their ice cream sundae, which is usually $1, was like $1.49 or something like that. Like everything was higher priced. And I'm wondering if it was their choice because hey, we're at Hampton Beach, we can charge whatever we want. Because I think if you did have your dollar menu, that place would have lines going out to the beach. 'Cause people really- But I was just surprised though because the minute we ordered. The number was being called when I'm handing the money. It was already being like the food was already like, I'm thinking, wait a minute, is everything already made?
You didn't have a replicator.
Like, it was like, because I was like, you know, I'll have a number 7, and she's like, okay, here's your change. Your number's 51, and right when she said what, number 51,
Yep.
I'm like, what? Like,
Wow.
and Chris was already almost done, and he was like in front of me.
That's why it's so expensive.
I had half a burger before I got my change back.
It's that service.
It was like, maybe it is. Maybe it's the future McDonald's. Maybe it's like they know when you're walking in.
Yes.
They knew I wanted a McChicken, and they were like, well, the closest thing we have in the menu is the Southern Chicken. He's going to get that. So he's going to order the number 7.
We got the precogs from the Minority Report in the pack.
The precog, and it's like the Star Trek replication like machine, and they're just, the minute she punches 7 on the computer screen, it's already made the meal, and it's
It
like,
materializes right in front of you.
it's like, you know,
And poor Rebecca and Matt are both like starving out in the chat room.
Oh, I am too.
Yeah, and I am too now.
Made me very hungry.
And I wolfed down a Junior Whopper before I came over.
and I actually made homemade chicken before I came in. I just
Yeah, and I had tacos for dinner.
I had
Apparently
tacos
this
for
was
dinner
my
too.
supper.
I had tacos for dinner as well.
Let's call Taco Bell right now.
Let's call Domino's.
Let's call. Do they have a taco pizza?
Call D'Angelo's. I'll
I
take
kind
a
of warned you
sub.
about the McDonald's in Hampton Beach. I've been there like twice, and I'll never go there again.
I haven't been there in years. I haven't gone there.
I haven't been to Hampton except for this year in a long time. Without the license, it's kind of hard to get around. And Manchester cut their service. They had like one bus every day that went to Hampton Beach a couple of years ago. And it also didn't help that I had a ex-boyfriend who was a selfish prick. Let's go to Hampton. No. Okay. I was the battered housewife. I was like, okay, whatever you say, dear.
He could be watching.
Could be. Yeah, there were 3 guests in the chat room, and
He
one
was
of them
watching?
could be.
He was watching last week, wasn't he?
No,
Was it the
actually,
week before?
it was the week before.
Yeah.
I made Italian seasoned chicken a little over an hour ago. Pretty good. Now I want tacos, some Southern style chicken and bacon. Rebecca, she's still in my heart. She has.
I did a homemade teriyaki chicken before I came tonight. I was like, and I'm craving tacos myself. I always crave tacos. Like I never have enough tacos. Like it's just one of those things where tacos. You always have room for tacos. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
It's always like
Especially because they don't really load it with meat at Taco Bell.
No. And I was never impressed with the did you like the Doritos taco?
I did not.
I don't know. Everybody I know loves that Doritos taco and was all like, "Oh, it's the greatest thing." You don't know what you're talking about. That Doritos
Melanie
taco.
got one night when we ordered Taco Bell, and she had me try it, and I was actually excited because I was like, advertising on TV and it makes it seem so grand.
2 greatest things in the world:
I took
tacos
one-
and Doritos.
I took one bite and I threw it out.
Yeah, I didn't think it was
like-
that great.
That bad, huh?
Yeah. If they did like a cooler ranch,
That's what I was like. I was thinking if it was because I don't like regular Doritos.
No.
I'm not a fan of
But a
regular
Cool
Doritos.
Ranch would make sense.
yeah.
A Cool Ranch. If they did a variety, if they did a Cool Ranch one.
Still talking about tacos. You
Taco
didn't-
Bell. Well, I was talking about have you tried the Dorito taco at Taco Bell?
Oh, the beefy.
No, the Dorito one that actually has the shell as a Dorito.
Oh, no. I have not.
No, because they have the new. Are you thinking of the nacho burrito?
Yes, that I have
Yeah.
tried, which is only $1, and
Yeah.
it's very good.
That's not bad.
I
That's
think
not bad.
it's very good.
But see, I always thought the Crunchwrap Supreme was a burrito or a nacho sandwich. Anyway, like that was already a burrito nacho thing. Anyway, the Crunchwrap Supreme to me.
I don't know.
So, but
Cool Ranch only. Regular Doritos are disgusting, but damn, that Dorito taco looks good.
it looks good, but on paper
That
it looks
Dorito
good.
Locos taco.
It
So
looks good on paper, but I don't know. It does not. To me, it does not taste good.
Yeah.
It was a disappointment. It didn't. But everybody in my family that has it were like, "Oh, it's great! It's the best thing ever." That Doritos taco, and it's a great marketing tie-in, and it's a great
Well, yeah, when most of your clientele are pretty much stoners.
yeah. And I mean, I think, isn't Doritos owned by Pepsi? Because Pepsi owns
Yes.
Taco Bell, so
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's all because it's a PepsiCo company. And but one thing I'm noticing,
Maybe Rhode Island makes good Dorito tacos. Nothing good comes out of Rhode Island.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. What was that? I'm kidding.
There goes our viewers in
I
Rhode
have a friend
Island.
in Rhode Island.
Just the
Her
only
One
family's
of
from
my,
Rhode Island.
I know. That's what she said. Maybe Rhode Island makes. I'm kidding. Of course, my ex David lives out in Rhode Island, and I go to Providence often to see him. So I was just out there for Providence Pride. You guys put on a great show.
Haven't been in
But
Providence
really,
in years.
nothing Nothing good comes out of Rhode Island.
Well,
Massachusetts' second biggest city, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Isn't that where they dump all the
Suburb.
toxic waste? Isn't that where Rhode Island is?
It kind of goes upstream from New Jersey.
Is that what it is?
Hell yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And of course, one of our offices is located in Pawtucket. One of our 2 offices. Yeah. Lock the door, throw the key.
Just close the doors of that office. But, you know.
And I told you why they have. Well, that's
That's
getting into work. Yes.
We can't, we leave work at work.
Leave work at work. We're not talking about Benjamin Strawberries.
Verbal
tonight.
ejaculation and all. You know what?
Oh, I thought maybe Glenn had a Providence office you were talking about.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
not talking
QC
about
news.
QC news because it's not
QC
here.
news.
We don't have to be his corporate shill.
Well, because isn't he changing the paper to the Queen City Capital Providence Examiner?
That sounds good.
That sounds great.
That actually, with that name, he probably would have more subscribers, more people actually getting the paper.
Yes.
Maybe he could actually charge for it instead of having a free paper.
Yeah.
Ooh.
She says she's afraid of being shot in Pawtucket, so I guess that'd be Shot-tucket, because you
Oh.
get shot.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a good city, Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
I've never been to Pawtucket. I don't think I have.
Pawtucket. They have a great ground round. They have one of the only. Ground round went out of business,
I had a
but not in
chicken club
Pawtucket.
wrap that
Pawtucket still has a ground round.
I don't know how
Yes,
this
they do.
happened. I had a chicken club wrap, and as you got closer to each end, the bacon got less and less cooked.
Yeah.
I still don't know how that happened.
I don't know how you can do that. Yeah, ground round. I never understood this. Ground round ground round, as far as I knew, went out of business, but they didn't tell Pawtucket.
Yeah.
And that they still have one up and running. And the funny thing is too, it's the same thing with that Four Loko, like that. Remember that alcohol that got outlawed everywhere?
Loco.
Nobody told Vermont because you can still go to Vermont and get Four Loko at like all the different grocery stores.
Well, that ground round is great. It's right in the middle of like it's Bradley's. It's wonderful.
That's right. There's a Zayre's and a Bradley's, and there's like a ground round right there. And it was great because I went to the ground round actually last weekend, and I went and got a couple of CDs at Strawberries.
Yeah.
So I went to Strawberries, got a couple of CDs while I was there.
And do some shopping at Caldor's.
Did you?
It was great. It
Yes.
was fantastic.
Yes, it was a lot of stuff in
That's
Pawtucket. You never realize what Pawtucket
Is
has.
there still strawberries there?
Yeah, in Pawtucket, there is.
You know what?
I got like FYE now.
I went down there for Bike Week 09, actually, in Pawtucket. I did.
There's this
Last
office
weekend.
over there. There's an office on Church Street that's going to keep going even though we're long after we close those stores.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's good.
But we're still working. We're still answering claims. So.
And they're gonna still be eating lunch at the ground round every day because that's Actually, no. The food I got at the ground round wasn't that bad, but many other people got sick off the food at the ground round. Everybody got food poisoning at the ground round. But again, I was surprised because it's a ground round lost in time because the whole like every other ground round. I want to say every other ground round doesn't exist except for this one, and maybe that's the corporate headquarters.
Yeah.
Because
We got to find better headquarters if
Yeah,
that's the
but-
case.
But yeah, so when I went into Coconuts, I got my VHS tape the other day. Yeah, good old Coconuts.
Record Town.
Went into Music for a Song down in Pawtucket. I was gonna say that company went out.
Wow,
That's gone.
yeah.
That used to be, was that an outlet? That was
They
an
haven't been
outlet.
gone that long. A couple of years.
Music for a
A
Song.
small chain.
You never worked for them, right? That was
No,
never
no.
You never had a association with them.
No. They're not completely gone, by the way.
There's
they
one in
still
Pawtucket.
There's one in
There's
Pawtucket.
still a few. There is one in Pawtucket.
Yeah.
No, there's some of those. Actually, Kendra Saunders
Yes.
used to work for them, so this is how I know this.
Yeah.
I guess a few of them stayed open because they were purchased by the managers or whomever. Like they gave them the option, you can buy these and run them independently.
Oh,
and
having like
some of them are gonna
franchise
close.
type of thing.
Yeah, something
That's actually
like
kinda
that,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
that's why
probably-
the ground round's still open.
That's probably, I was going to say, that's probably what happened to that ground
They
round.
decided,
Yeah.
they decided, hey, we want to keep Ground Round open
Yeah.
because people are going to remember this name.
Yeah.
And that's why, because the menu at the Ground Round is not the same as it used to be.
Yeah.
Like, because I remember when I went in there a couple of years back, I was like, this isn't, like, they don't have all the steaks and everything the Ground Round used to have, because they do have, like, more of a Tex-Mex menu and things like that. But, of course, it's pulling up. There's the Ground Round right there.
Ground round.
But,
Restaurant locator. One.
it's like, enter your zip code.
There it is.
I like they show a globe around the Ground Round, but it's like the location is the one in Pawtucket.
You can select a state of Iowa, Maine, Michigan, Minnesota,
Wow.
Missouri, New Jersey, New York, North Dakota, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Even Rhode Island's not even listed.
Not even there.
Really? That's weird.
So it's got to be.
03101. Submit.
It's not even the one.
Within 200 miles, there's Hallowell, Maine,
Yep.
Plattsburgh, New York, Brookhaven, New York, and Bangor, Maine. It does not even list.
Well, I
outside
bet you the one in Rhode Island isn't an associated one with the actual chain. Maybe the chain is still around then. Maybe that is true.
Huh.
Or maybe the one in Rhode Island finally closed. Maybe they're done. Maybe they finally.
I haven't been down to that.
Maybe the health inspector went in and shut them down because everybody was dying of food poisoning.
Rebecca, you live down in Rhode Island. Let us know if that.
Well, I thought she was in
ground round
Canada.
is-
She's
Canadian.
Or she's
around
okay.
now.
So
Yep.
she can
Say hi to my
investigate.
ex, David.
But
You know, one part of Rhode Island I haven't been in, Warwick.
I've been there
I have not been to
My
Warwick,
ex
and I've always
lived there.
wanted to, and I'll tell you why. Because I am
because you don't like Dionne Warwick.
no.
Okay.
No, I was gonna say I'm an enthusiast of ghost hunting. I like ghost hunting, and the big ghost hunting team, TAPS, is actually located in Warwick.
Yep.
And actually, I watch the show all the time, and I want.
Then why would you go to Warwick?
Huh?
Would you want to go to Warwick?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
what
I
he's
haven't
saying.
gone there
He wants to
yet.
go.
Woonsocket is the home of CBS.
Woodstock.
Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
I've been to Providence, and I've been to Bristol.
Been to Bristol.
Bristol, that's it.
God, there's one. Chamberlain, Chandler? There's a CH out there. I've been to that one as well. Well, then again, you can walk Rhode Island in about an hour.
I was gonna
I'm
say
pretty sure you
Chandler.
can.
What exit is that? I don't know,
I was
Chandler.
gonna say, if you're into ghost hunting, isn't
Cumberland.
Shadows of the
No,
Night
Cumberland.
Radio? Isn't
I
that a
like
ghost
sitting
hunting
there-
show, Matt?
What's that?
Isn't the Shadows of the Night Radio a ghost hunting show?
Yes, it is.
See that there's a show on IPM Nation.
And it was number one for a long time,
That is
and
all
now
about
it's
ghost hunting.
still number two. So
You don't have to go to Warwick, Rhode Island.
No, I'd rather get the best.
You could stay.
Taps.
What? Not no. If it's on IPM Nation.
Prior to
It is the
Shadows of the
best.
Night, we had
Yes.
another paranormal show as well.
Yes.
What happened to
Voices
the
of the
TV
Unknown.
show?
What's that?
What happened to the TV
Sheriffs
show?
of Ghosts.
What happened to the Sheriffs of Ghost Town? Where is that? I've been looking on A&E.
They were downgraded to deputies.
Are did it ever get on TV? Because I've had the.
No.
Again, if I recall his name,
Jeff Kimball?
Thank you.
Kimball.
Jeff was going through a lot of things at the same time, a lot of personal things at the same time that they were trying to get the show up and running.
Because I was, I've been keeping an eye out on A&E and the Learning Channel and all the other Discovery. I've been looking at all those channels for the Sheriff of Ghost Town or whatever it was going to be called. The
Sheriffs of Ghost Town, was it? It was.
Yeah, wasn't it? The Sheriffs
Well,
of
not
Ghost Town?
sheriffs, just sheriff.
The Sheriff of Ghost Town.
Jeff being the
Yeah,
sheriff.
the sheriff, and he had his, he had his Barney Fife, and he had his,
I spelt it wrong. Apparently, I'm looking for Omar Sharif.
Omar Sharif of Ghost Town, the Sheriff of Ghost
Well,
Town.
I think they did pitch a separate. They pitched another version called Sheriffs of Ghost
Oh, there's
Town.
Ghost Town Sheriff.
which was going to feature Suzanne Summers as the other sheriff. But
She's
that
the
never
Sheriff of
happened.
Ghost Town.
But that never, yeah. But that never.
There's still a
happened.
19-second Vimeo clip of
Yeah, well, that's there.
the opening sequence.
Yeah.
Did they ever? They never filmed the actual first episode, right? They just did the opening sequence as their pitch.
I think so. Yeah. And I don't talk to Jeff very much, so I'm not sure exactly, but.
Because I've been keeping an eye out. Because I've been like, oh, this is going to be a good show. Because I want to know. I want to see him bust the perps. Bust those ghosts. Like, you're arrested, ghost. I'm putting you in jail. And I
do
want to see
know,
how you're going to keep him in the cells.
Jeff was on Norm and Friends within the last year. It was a day that I wasn't there. I had to miss that show, and I know that there was some sort of argument afterward between Jeff and Norm,
Really?
but neither of them will tell me what it was about.
Actually,
Which one is more full of shit?
actually, I was thinking
Oh,
about
see, that's
Ba-dum-bum.
But
But they did. I do know they also had a three-way
The
with
ghost-
David Grover
Oh, did they?
that's what I was
And a
thinking.
ghost. I heard there was a
And a
ghost
ghost,
involved,
yes.
though.
and Mrs. Muir. It was a
Oh.
five-way.
Who's more full of shit, the medium or the ghost hunter?
I actually want to go see a ghost in person, like myself, just to witness it. Just to know if it's.
You want to see a
actually
ghost
real.
in person?
Well, make an appointment.
Yeah.
You just.
Well, you know what I mean. I mean, just ghost hunting.
Well, we were going to get the remains of Gary Coleman and Dana. What's her name?
Are they still
Dana,
doing?
Yes. and
Are they
make
still
them have
doing the
sex. I
Shadows
wonder
of the
if the
Night
ghosts will
thing
come back.
there, where they were inviting people to go with them? Are they
Well, I was
still
thinking,
doing
yeah, I was thinking we'll actually do.
The contest is over.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll do another one.
Yeah.
No, I'm just thinking we're doing like how Ghost Hunters does it. I'm thinking about doing something like that, and like hopefully, like when Ghost Hunters retires, hopefully, I can have a show that takes over.
Right, because the market isn't already flooded.
No,
So that's perfect.
Maybe because the sheriff isn't out there anymore. Maybe you could be the new sheriff of Ghost Town.
Yes.
Maybe you could put on a little outfit.
You could call the show the new sheriff of Ghost Town. There never even was a sheriff of Ghost Town.
No, but people don't
You're
need to
the
know
new
that.
sheriff of
The
Ghost
new
Town.
sheriff of Ghost Town. It'd be a good marketing scheme. You could put it out there.
Where's the old one?
Sheriff of Ghost Town 2013.
You could do that. You could pitch it and be like, the old sheriff couldn't do the job. Yeah, now I'm here.
Sheriff.
There's a new sheriff in town. That's me.
There's your advertising.
There's your
right
pitch
there.
meeting right there. You can sit down with the A&E boys. You can sit there.
Yeah, a picture of Jeff Kimball framed on the wall in the background. It's just kind of a subtle reference.
Yeah.
Rebecca saying that ghost hunters came to her house. Matt says, I saw a ghost wall in Northampton. No, you saw a lesbian who didn't get enough sun. That's what you saw in Northampton.
As I've spoken many times, I grew up with a ghost in my
Yes.
house, and I've spoken on the air about it. Not on this show, but on other shows.
Yes.
We had a ghost in our house. We actually had a brick that was haunted, that because the spirits are tied into objects and things like that. And my family was actually haunted in our home, our homestead. That the ghost was attached to the brick.
You used to actually see the ghost, right?
Yes, everybody that was of Randlet blood saw this ghost because she was an actual relative of ours. The ghost attacked my mother and attacked my sister-in-law because they did not have actual Randlet blood in that. It's a really freaky, and my brother's the one that actually, it affected him more because he was the one that actually had the bricks, and he took the bricks out of the house and actually took them with him when he got married. He had the brick and took the brick with him into the cottage he lived in, the first home he lived in with his wife, and took him the brick is now in the it's in Loudon. It's in like the he threw it like in the water in Loudon somewhere because he finally got rid of the brick, but each one of us, we never spoke about it when we were kids. Like we never spoke about seeing this woman, and her name was Jane. We had the whole history of her and everything. Every one of us saw her, but none of us ever spoke about it because we were all freaked the shit out about it. And we never talked about it, and we kept it quiet. And then one day we all finally started talking, and we all had a similar story. Like each one of us just started telling the same story, and it was all like freaking us all out because we were like, wait a minute, and it was like we had the exact same description of this woman. And every time she visited us, we would get sick. Like we actually, like my father, when he saw her, he had pneumonia. My brother got into a major asthma attack. When he saw her, I had gotten really, really sick. I had had illness. But it was she used to freak my sister out because we'd go away camping and my sister would stay behind at the home, and the ghost would be slamming doors and turning TVs on, and it was a real freaky thing. But I actually, when I first saw her, I thought it was my grandmother. I thought it was my grandmother watching me from my doorway. And at first I was kind of spooked because I looked up and I was just and I saw this woman looking at me, and I was just kind of creeped out, and then I just kind of watched her, and she was just staring at me. And I just sat there and watched this woman staring at me, and I was just kind of okay, it's getting kind of creepy now.
Take my clothes off real slow. Keep watching.
Yeah, so, yeah. But
I'll be freaked out. Just a ghost, no ghost, I'll be freaked out if someone's staring at me.
Yeah, and she was, and I was a kid, so I was kind of freaked out. But then I just felt at peace because I was watching her. When I first saw her, I was kind of freaked out, and then I kind of was watching her, and she was just sitting there staring at me. When my father saw her, she was sitting at the edge of his bed. My father was in bed, and she was kind of looking out the window, and then she kind of turned and looked at him, and she was sitting at the edge of his bed. And she was doing something similar to my brother. My brother, she was at the foot of his bed because his bed used to face a window. She was the dog was barking, and my brother wakes up, and she was standing in front of my brother staring at him, and then she turned and was looking out the window. And it was just weird stuff. But she'd fuck with my mother. She would do vicious vindictive things to my mother. There was, my brother walked into the kitchen one night when he had moved the bricks, because my parents were getting divorced, and my mother had moved out. She got an apartment, and my brother had moved in with my mother, brought the bricks with him. He had walked into the kitchen and had saw weird visional stuff of like a spider plant like kind of moving towards my mother's neck and stuff like that, like the actual plant itself. Like there was weird stuff. It was just weird like stuff. It didn't really like go towards her neck. It was just like he saw like that, like that's what he saw. Like he saw like kind of that's what he thought he saw. But it really wasn't happening. It wasn't like, you know, she wasn't really being strangled by the spider plant, but my brother freaked out. And he's like, "Hi, you okay?" And she's like, "What? I'm sitting here doing dishes." And he just saw he was just seeing these weird visions when he was and it was just, and she, Jane would make all these, she'd start doing all these slamming of doors and doing all these things at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. And my mother would just scream out the middle of the night, "Would you cut the shit to knock this stuff off?" It's like, it was just, oh yeah.
We're spooking Rebecca right now.
Are we? Well, that's good.
Yeah, she hasn't really said much in the chat room.
But it's neat stuff. It's neat stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always, it's I'd love myself personally to go on one of those things. But I've been, it's one of those things where I grew up where it was normal stuff. I believe in ghosts because I witnessed it, and it wasn't I believe that they're there, and I believe that they're, I think it's kind of like you're in a limbo. I think it's like you're kind of waiting to go wherever you're going to go, and
Or maybe you don't go anywhere. Maybe that's it. Maybe that is the afterlife.
Maybe that is. And when my brother threw her in the water, maybe she's just in the water now, laying,
She's swimming.
She was attached. She's swimming around loud. she's hot in the lake. She's the lady of the lake. But it was just, to me, it's just weird because she was attached to that brick. You know what I mean? It was like they get attached. My brick! They get attached to certain things. So it's like, if there's certain articles that you get attached to. So if there's something my precious, that's why I think not to seem tasteless, but I think when Matt's stepmother passes away, there's going to be a dildo out there that she's going to be attached to.
Yes.
There's going to be one of these.
There'll always be a part of
There's
her.
going to be that. Yeah. There's going to be one of these dildos out there that she's going to be attached to, and
I just made myself vomit a little. Thanks.
And somebody's going to try to make some country time lemonade with that.
Yes,
and she's going to be haunting it.
It's a little
Steve will be
inside.
stirring it. Steve will be stirring it with the dildo.
Yeah, well, no, there's something, I think there's something that Steve's got attached to. There's something, that Steve left behind. That,
Probably.
That he's haunting. A xylophone.
Xena, what was his name?
Xena Warrior Princess probably has something of Steve's that, he has something that,
You guys know about the thing that happened at the warehouse, right?
I remember you telling that story, yeah.
Yeah.
With what? With the
thing with Trish and the car stereo. And
yes, when you were, yeah. Well, I remember the night we went in there and we had the night that Hammer and I and we had that weird corner.
Oh, Adam Furious was with us.
Adam, when we went in, that was the night we were looking for Steve, right? Yeah, we didn't show up for the show, and we thought he was in there hanging himself. But that was the thought because he was.
I didn't think I was concerned. I thought he might be dead, but I didn't think he was hanging himself.
Well, that was our morbid thought because we were gonna, we're all thinking, we're gonna walk into the warehouse and he's gonna be in there but. That warehouse just had weird vibes.
Oh, yeah.
It just had weird vibes, and it was now, the skeptic part of me, it could have been a non-grounded wire, too, causing this, because it was a very, there was this one corner that when you went into that corner, it had a very electrical feeling. You just go in there, and it just, it made your body kind of you just got goose pimply, and all the hairs would just raise right up on you. And it was kind of those plasma lamp things that you put your hand on and you kind of get a little bit of that. Yeah. That's what the whole entire corner felt like. The minute you walked into that corner, it just gave you this rush of energy.
Huh.
And the thing that was kind of fucked up about that,
excuse me,
it didn't do it all the time.
Right.
At night, it was like that. And it was really spooky and really freaky. And I felt it. I think Hammer felt it when he went over there, didn't he? Because he did a little bit of it. But again, when we went back numerous times, it wasn't always there.
Yeah.
It didn't always have that feeling. Sometimes it was there and sometimes it wasn't.
Do you remember Hammer's reaction was really interesting, though? Do you remember what happened that night we brought him there?
Hammer was kind of
he was just like, dude, there's nothing here, here. He was totally convinced. He was like, dude, you're crazy. And then all of a sudden,
he thought we were nuts.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, but do you remember? And then all of a sudden, he's like, okay, we gotta go.
Yeah, he was spooked the fuck out.
All of a sudden, he's just his demeanor changed. He's like, oh,
he was like, we
actually need to leave.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah, he was all tough and all like, oh, you guys are just nuts. You guys, this stuff doesn't exist. This is all like, he was all like, kind of like, this is nothing. There's nothing in this room. There's nothing. I remember he was kind of being that type of way. But he did get kind of spooked.
And then all of a sudden he's like, okay, we need to leave.
Yeah, and it was that weird like.
Yeah, because he is sensitive to that.
Yeah,
like he senses things.
Yeah, and it was that weird corner, and it was like, and I immediately when I went in and stood in there, it was freaky because you would stand in that corner, and it felt like the minute you stood there, it felt like you were standing on an exposed electrical wire, and that you were just getting like you had magnets on your feet, and you were just like putting the whole like jolt, and it kind of reminded me of when Circuit City was still open on South Willow Street. I used to have these shoe insoles that had magnets in them. They had a plate on the floor one day that was like one of those plugs.
Yeah.
That wasn't grounded. And I was walking around one day at Circuit City, and I stepped on that plate, and I had a surge of electricity go through my body at Circuit City because of those magnets in my shoes.
Yeah.
I took those damn things out of my shoes because I don't know if you remember when they marketed those for the longest time that magnets were supposed,
healing powers.
And I was like, I think my father bought me those shoe insoles. He's like, oh, these are the greatest things. You got to put these in your. So I had them in my shoes, and I walked and I stood on this plate, and I had this like jolt of electricity go through my body while I'm in like the CD section of like Circuit City, and I was like, "Fuck this shit!" And I immediately took those things out of my shoes. That's what that was like in that corner. It was like going into that corner. It was like all of a sudden there was like this eerie surge of like weird electrical energy, and it was just really just fucked up.
Oh yeah.
And I remember that night because Hammer was all like, "Yeah, we gotta leave, leave," and it reminded me of a night that I went out with Cormier, actually with Paul Cormier. We went to a graveyard that people were saying was haunted. And it was near this area where they're doing development. I can't remember where the graveyard now was, but it was all on the internet about this. And he took pictures, and he has the pictures. We both were all like, this is nothing, we're like, we're all like, we dealt with this before, we can go into this graveyard. And we went into this graveyard, and it was pretty early. It was like 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night. And it was near a school. And we walked into the graveyard, and we're both kind of walking around. And all of a sudden, the two of us turned into like bony-armed little schoolgirls, and we both got scared shitless. And this other guy we were with, he was all like, "What are you guys doing? What's wrong?" He goes, "We're just in there's nothing going on. There's nothing here. What are you doing?" And we were both just like, "We got to get the hell out of here now." And Paul just took his camera, and he was like taking shots. He wasn't even looking. He was just sitting there taking shots with his digital camera because he was freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there going, "This does not feel good at all. This does not feel good at all." I'm like, I gotta go home. I'm like, I gotta go home, and I was having a panic attack.
Yeah.
And the other, like, he got freaked out too. So the two of us got into the car. The other kid we were with, he took the camera of Paul's, and he just started taking more shots of the graveyard.
Yeah.
So took the camera home. All the pictures had all these weird shapes, all these weird distortions.
Really?
Like none of the pictures came out and looked like anything. It was like weird though, that there were all these like there was no people in any of the pictures. There's no But it's all these weird like blurs. It was all these weird like you couldn't see any of like the gravestones. They were all like disfigured, and every single thing came out weird. And but every single one of his pictures like had some type of like blobs of like white, like weird imagery on it, and there was nothing reflective. There was nothing that it would have bounced off of. There was no lights. It wasn't, the construction site was all shut down, so it wasn't any bright lights shining on the thing. So it was just really weird that every single one of his pictures had some type of image on it. But it was just both of us really had to get out of there. We were so freaked out by that place, and we never went back.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. I want to say it was near Nashua somewhere, because I know it was close by, but it was on one of the New Hampshire haunting websites.
Oh, right. Yeah, there is a very haunted location, a haunted cemetery.
Getting creeped out.
Gilson Road Cemetery. And it's a very haunted spot. I read about it. Apparently, when you walk in there, you feel like you're wading in water. You're wading in water. You hear noises that are inhuman, supposedly, and you see like a dark hooded figure that pops up.
That might have been the one we went to, because was it originally like where it was like near, like, did they build housing near it?
I guess so. They said
Okay.
they had woods area, but that's some old housing area around there.
Okay, that might have been where we were because it was
Just some remote cemetery.
because when we were there we thought we heard stuff. That's what we were hearing. Like we thought we were hearing weird things, and it was like it was just kind of a creepy, just an eerie, creepy feeling.
Mhm.
And when you hear rumors, though, you always think that you're out there and it's somebody making noises. Like, you know what I mean? If you see something on the internet that says, if you go to such and such a cemetery, you're going to hear weird noises. If you go to that cemetery and you hear noises, you're thinking, okay, some jackass is out here going,
Right.
"Woo!" making noises
Right.
because people are drawn to this type of cemetery. So that's the first thought you're thinking. But
Yeah.
when you go to a place and you hear the noises, and they don't sound like some jackass making a noise that you can't even describe the noise. Like, it's like, yeah, that doesn't sound like a human noise. That doesn't sound like somebody like, and yeah, you can, with all the digital techniques and all that, you can sit here with any type of device and sit here and have some weird, fucked up, like, sound effect.
Yeah.
But it was at the time, this was years ago. This was like, when him and I went, this was maybe, we're talking maybe 15 years ago now.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's a while back.
Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where we really got we really seriously were. We showed up there so manly and all like, well, this is nothing, this is a piece of cake.
Right.
And we just turned into Jello.
Yeah.
When we got there, because we were totally just like, we got to get out of here now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say when you first enter the cemetery, like I said, like right when you enter, not when you go in there, maybe like a few feet. No, as soon as you approach it, you get a feeling like you got to get, like you can't enter.
Yeah.
Like you need to leave.
It's like you have that Scooby-Doo thing.
You
walk
just
in.
have to leave.
Yeah.
So.
I said I was dog sitting once for a friend of mine who lived in Maynard, Mass. And it's their road is basically on the left-hand side is the cemetery and the right-hand side is all the houses. Walking the dog, it was late at night, through the cemetery. Because why? Because there's an open place to go walk the dog, and I heard, I'm almost positive now it was the dog sneezing. But what I heard was, run. Just run. And I did.
You ran.
I ran as fast as I could. And poor Ozzy, who's this like 90-pound Rottweiler, is trying to keep up with me as I'm doing a Bugs Bunny through the wall. But that's all I heard was run. Okay, you don't have to tell me twice.
You had a Rottweiler and you're running? Come on. I mean,
what's he gonna do? Eat a ghost?
yes. Yes. Rottweilers will eat anything.
Yeah. I'm pulling him instead of vice versa.
See, when I was growing up, I used to we had a huge backyard that was all woods, and I could have swore I used to hear like somebody calling my name all the time. Like I could have swore that I used to be out in the woods and I'd hear like Daniel, like somebody like calling my name, and I'd run up to the house and nobody would be home. And I could never figure out what the hell that was. I used to freak me because I'd always be like, I'd ask my mother when my mother would get home, I'd be like, were you calling me up to the house? And she'd be like, I just got home from work. And I'd be like,
Maybe she was gaslighting you.
like, is my mother fucking with me? Like, what is she?
Yeah.
But I used to I never I was always trying to figure out I always would hear like my name being called when I was out there because I used to spend a lot of time out in the woods in the backyard because our like where I grew up had a lot of woods and a lot of like a backyard, like a nice area, and I was always out there. And I always did. I'd always hear I'd hear people either whispering my name or yelling my name.
Yeah.
And I always would now in hindsight, it could have been just the wind going through the trees, and I thought I was hearing my name.
That's happening.
They call the wind
You know.
Daniel.
Yes,
But
but
I
I
would
would
be very rarely. I've heard my name whispered to me.
like you may hear Matthew or something like that.
I've heard.
I always hear Chris.
That has happened. to me.
Chris, what?
Yeah.
That has happened. No, you know what that reminds me of? Do you remember the apartment that we had that when we first moved in? There was this weird thing where you were in the basement, like sorting your stuff or whatever, and I remember I came home, and I come home and I go down there to see what you're doing, and you asked me how long I had been home. You were like, did you just get here? And I said, yeah. And you're like, you didn't already come in like 15 minutes ago? Because you said, and then you explained to me that you thought you had heard me walk in like 15 minutes ago, and you thought you heard my voice
Like talking to me.
say, hey, Dan,
Yeah.
like yelling, hey, Dan, down the,
Yeah.
and then you were kind of like, you really just came, I'm like, yeah, I really just came home.
Maybe
Maybe
it's the voices
they're-
in my head.
Maybe they're both.
Maybe,
Maybe
I don't
they're both in on
know.
it.
It was kind of a weird thing I've never forgotten.
Maybe your mom called Matt and said, "Hey, you know this thing I used to do with her as a child?" This is what I need you to do.
Yeah. No, I think I remember.
Come home an hour early.
Yeah.
That was the only weird thing like that ever happened there. But
Yeah, but more recently, when I was living with my father more recently, I was under a lot of drugs because I had gotten I was highly medicated because I had some surgery done, and I could have sworn my father had come home, and he had come home and he was visiting with my cousin, and I could have swore they were having a total conversation with me there that never existed.
Oh, really?
My father wasn't even home for the weekend. Like that was like a drug inducer.
Yeah.
Because I even said to my father, I was like, "Were you here with my cousin Robert?" I was like, he was like, "No, I was out because this is when he was out dating, doing his serial dating with every day." Because I said, I go, "Were you here with Robert?" He was like, "No." He goes, "I've been gone for the whole day. I've been gone for 2 days." And I was like, "You didn't come home and sit here and have coffee with him at the table and have this long conversation with me and like talk." And he goes, "No." He goes, I was out with such and such." And I'm like, "You're kidding me, right?"
Yeah.
Because somebody just came into the apartment and sat here and had this conversation. And he's like, he even said to me, he goes, "It's your medication. It's obviously going to be your medication."
Yeah.
So was I always medicated? Is that what's
maybe. Maybe.
Is there a conspiracy? Is everybody in on it? Is that, And now what's going to happen is I'm going to be at work tomorrow, and Chris is going to be just making all these
With a loudspeaker.
Yes.
That has happened to me though, rarely, but that's happened to me where where it's been quiet.
Yeah.
And
you'll hear like
I'm like, and I hear my name whispered.
the wind cries Matthew.
That's actually me. Stalking you.
Yes.
Take off your clothes. Is this Chris?
Yeah, I remember feeling uncomfortable about what was being whispered.
It's Glenn. It's Glenn. We should all just go like to the.
But I usually hear that when my phone rings.
We should all go to the government apartment that Glenn lives in and hang outside his window. Just.
I've been to his place and there's like several windows that you can go to. Just each one of us
take a window and just be like.
It'll be like, "Oh, the inspectors are here again." Every day they come and inspect my apartment.
Yeah, or
Trying to get me out of New Hampshire. It's a
Apparently there's a
conspiracy.
bathroom right out his window.
It's a conspiracy here to get me out of my government housing. It's all a conspiracy. They want me out because I know the truth.
I speak the truth and I can't get my ID.
Glad I have $100 for you. LLC.
All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up. We're kind of close to 11:30.
I
Holy
know.
shit, this night has flown by. It's so much easier when he's not here.
Of course, we probably
Arguing with us.
have had no audio.
Arguments
It's all
by
night.
Glenn R.J. Roulette. TheSirenAgency.com, Scott Perry.
Yes.
Go to the website if you're a band and you're looking to get promoted. That's TheSirenAgency.com because apparently SirenAgency.com is something completely different.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You don't want to know what the siren agency is.
Wasn't that a detective agency? I thought we decided that. That's what that was.
It's actually
Hot, sexy women.
it's a store that just sells the sirens.
Oh.
Actually, the new sheriff of Ghost Town used to work for.
Oh, is that what it was?
that
The siren?
agency,
Yep.
yes.
New sheriff.
The old sheriff.
No, you can check us out on Facebook.com/TheSirenAgency. Also check us out on TheSirenAgency.com. We got upcoming shows, new bands to listen to, and new posts about any upcoming dates of any events going on in the future.
And don't forget to catch the podcast, which should be available soon on IPMNation.com.
Yes.
Also, don't forget to check out IPMNation.com for all upcoming shows, all live shows, recorded shows, all the podcasts from our previous shows, some of your favorites, including Stephen James Blake's Countdown to Reality. We actually haven't talked about him in a long time, and it's actually good to talk about him. We miss him.
Yes.
We do miss him.
Very much.
And of course, even though he's not here, I guess we should be promoting QCnews.com or Juicy News.
Juicy News.
QCnews.com, Glenn Show,
The
Friday night,
greatest
6 p.m.
newspaper that ever lines bird cages, guinea pig cages,
I heard it is the
rabbit
most
cages.
absorbent
It is. It's the
newspaper.
most absorbent news. That's
Absorbent news.
Yes, the most absorbent news in the state of New Hampshire.
If you gotta absorb your news, go with QC News.
QC News, the most absorbent news in New Hampshire.
So, it's so true. To Matt in the chat room, to Rebecca in the chat room, to Peter Wright, thank you all for tuning in. Those of you who did not join us in the chat room, but you're still watching, thank you very much for tuning in. And Matt in the chat room says that is the perfect way to put it. QC News, the most absorbent news that's out there. We will be back next week, Sunday the 8th.
Yes, we will.
What we got? What else have we got going on in our lives?
We will. Nobody's having any barbecues.
Matt will not be here, so Scott, you're welcome to join us again.
I'll be here next week.
And I'm gonna have to ask one of you guys to wrap it up because I'm gonna go shut us down.
Oh yeah, it's just like with Unleashed.
Yeah.
We have to for your time.
If you're tuning into one of our rebroadcasts, you can always get in touch with us during the week at ve@ipmnation.com or go to Facebook. You can friend us. We are Verbal Ejac, EJAC, Verbal Ejac. And I'm going to let these guys wrap it up. So I'm going to be Glenn.
You're going to be Glenn and wrap it up.
That's not true.
That's not. You're going to be. This is the first time he's going to be bi right now.
Yeah.
The first time he's going to be bi. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will catch you next week. And please download the podcast so we can be #1 again.
And I'll be naked next week.
Well, then we won't be doing a show. That's the case.
Dan won't be here, but I will.
Yes, Chris will be here, but I will not be here, and Matt's not going to be here. So there we go. It'll be an all gay episode.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. We ending it. End it now.